2 times in 1 week? Who do I think I am? I can't stay here. I didn't know what I was gonna call this. It was so crazy, and I just started singing Keisha Cole, and I remembered, "Hey girl." Ooh, ignore my hair. No, this one. This is throwing me off. Ignore this. "Hey girl." Um, I remembered like some time ago. Like I really music really does help me, and don't think that's gonna change because they are articulating, expressing feelings that I may be having a hard time articulating or expressing in that moment myself. So music will always help me. Um, so I don't know exactly when this was. I don't know the date that I wrote this down. Um, but I do remember singing Keisha Cole around the house. I didn't give myself enough time to process anything. And y'all know I like walking through like the timeline of my love life, relationships, and when I really looked back over it, like I never gave myself time to process any of that. So I can also understand why it's been kind of weird for people this year because I was processing so many emotions low key publicly, but it was like you don't know what I am processing. You don't know if this is from that boy I dated when I was 15. You don't know if it's from when I doubled back to him when I was 22, 23. You don't know. You don't know if I'm talking about old boy from college. You have no idea what I'm talking about. You don't know if I'm talking about old boy from last year. You don't know. And to be honest, half the time I don't know, right? Like I will feel the feelings. I have no idea, but I had never truly processed it. And even in the times where I wasn't in a relationship, because if I was telling you on the live, which if you haven't seen the last live, go watch the last live. But if I was telling you on that last live that I've been single for the last year, but that whole year, even though I wasn't dealing with nobody, I didn't process no emotions. So I don't ever want people to be confused about that. And I think that's why some people like they just think like, oh, you can't just hop in another relationship. Actually, you can if you have been intentional about processing those emotions, if you plan to continue to be intentional about processing those emotions, but also I'm the type where, like, by the time I actually walk away from you, I've processed enough emotions to where I know, like, I don't want to do this no more. I might not have processed all of them in their entirety, but I processed enough. I don't know if that's a woman thing or a Megan thing, but I do that. So by the time I left, I probably already wanted to leave months ago. I probably was already getting fed up and I didn't say nothing. Like, so I don't ever want people to be confused about that. But anyways, I'm saying that because a lot of the stuff that I have been making content about or posting about, especially on Facebook, and that was getting on my nerve. That's why I stopped. I'm like, I can't live. I'm trying to help other women. I'm trying to be transparent. This is gonna bother me. I'm trying to be transparent, and y'all just won't let me live. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, let it just hit for the people it's supposed to be for, and you mind your business and stop thinking I'm, down and out. But that's how you know people be wanting you to be down and out. Okay, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just do this. Yeah, there we go. So, anywho, I say all that to say I was processing a lot of emotions once I did allow myself to actually process them. I wasn't processing emotions this whole year that I wasn't dealing with anybody at all. And it was very evident when I started dealing with somebody because it was like, that's inside of me. Oh gosh, like what is wrong with me? It was very triggering. Even if that new somebody is treating me correctly, it's like, I got a lot of issues. And I'm gonna tell y'all something funny that happened because I was experiencing this at work and I wanted to tell y'all that on the live the last time, but I didn't take good notes so I wouldn't forget. At my new job, I told y'all for 6 months it wasn't like locked in. Like I was on a like temporary type thing, like to see how it was gonna go. And about a month or two in, my boss was like, I'm not letting you leave, right? And I was like, okay, but people just be saying stuff. And if I ain't learned nothing else from these men I be dealing with, they just be saying stuff. So even at this point in my life, I really don't get excited about what nobody says anymore. And I used to be the type that fell in love with words. Like, well, he said this. Okay, he was saying that, but what was he actually doing, sis? So part of my processing, I figured that out. But anyways, my new boss was like, we're not gonna let you go. And then other people would be asking me, like, are you going to stay? Like, are you going to decide to stay with us after the 6 months? Like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I mean, I want to stay, but I don't know. Like, that's not my decision. And low key, it's the same thing in a relationship. And I was telling one of my older friends, mentors this, and she was like, you know what? Now that you say that, I see that parallel. I'm like, literally, because it wasn't going to be my decision to stay. Even if I wanted to stay, that was going to be the leadership's call. And regardless of if you're married to the man or whatever, that's really like he has to, like, you choose like if you want him to be a suitor, but he has to like, hey, will you be my girlfriend? He has to offer you like, or be my wife. Because at this age, I'm like, I don't even think I want a girlfriend proposal. Is he getting married or not? But anyways, that's up to them. And then when they ask you, you have to know what your answer is going to be, right? And so a month or two in, he told me that, and I told y'all my boss was working really, really hard to like make me feel safe and like, you're safe over here. We got you over here. This is where you want to be. And I knew starting that new job, like, I feel like this is how I'm supposed to be in a relationship. I feel like this is what God is showing me. So I worked hard, but it was crazy because whenever I would start overworking, just like when I was telling y'all, like whenever I start to like perform, it's like, hey, stop doing all that. You ain't gotta do all that. Like I rock with you, I fool with you. Like you're right, you're right. That's what it was like at work. Like I would be bending over backwards because that's what I was used to in my previous job. And it was never enough. So that is very toxic. And you have to realize when people are doing that to you, whether it's a man who is going to sit there and let you just give and give and give and give and bend over backwards for him and give and deplete yourself. And he's just gonna keep letting you, and it's gonna feel like you're never enough. You're never gonna reach like what do I have to do? What do I have to give for you to choose me? Like that is toxic. It doesn't matter if it's a man, it doesn't matter if it's a job. And they were always doing to me at that old job. And I follow I think her name is Sinful on Facebook. I don't, she's probably on other social media sites, but I found her on Facebook. She's hilarious. And she talks about narcissistic relationships. It's SYN, not sin, but SYNFUL, Sinful. And she was saying that like when you're dealing with a narcissist, they're always moving the goalposts. That's why you never feel good enough. And then low key, you learn how to do that in your adult life, right? Like when you're talking about people who struggle with like perfectionism and imposter syndrome and all that. And it's like you don't even realize how much you've accomplished, which I knew I was like that probably like 2 years ago, but maybe 3. You don't realize how much you've accomplished because you are so conditioned at that point, like it's never enough because once I've accomplished this, I've already moved it, even further. Like you start to do that to yourself. If your parents were like that, they expected so much of you. I never had to worry about you. I don't want to hear none of that. Right. And so people will let you overwork and they put you in this very toxic place with yourself. And I know this is a lot. My lead at the last job, I thought he was cool. I thought he was looking out for me, but then in the end, I realized like he really wasn't. And when he left, that was one thing he told me, like, or when I left, that was one thing he told me. He was like, I never really had to worry about you. He didn't, but I also made his job significantly easier because I was that type of person. Just like I'm that type of child. Like I always made sure I did what I was supposed to do for my parents. I never wanted to make their life hard. I always was like giving them something to be proud of, like I was very overcompensating type of person. But anyways, you're doing that, but you don't realize that in that dynamic, that relationship, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, what it's doing to you, and they're going to keep moving the goalposts, keep moving the goalposts. So one thing I noticed at that job around those first few months, like whenever I would be working really, really, really hard, he'd be like, you worried about nothing, please don't go home worried about this, you stressed out. And I'm like, that's crazy, because old girl, she would literally, like, I would be trying to make a plan for stuff. She hated that I knew my stuff. She hated it. That lady was so jealous of me. I'd be trying to make a plan, give her a timeline, we're going to do this, it'd be a great plan, it would like bring a lot of stuff in, get a lot of ducks in a row for her, get everything organized, and I would do it. And whenever I would make progress, she would like try to rip the rug from underneath my feet, or be like, oh, well, you didn't do this, even though I'm doing all of this other stuff, but you didn't do this. And if you date a narcissist, ooh, because old boy, like the one, just wait. But him, he used to do me like that all the time. It didn't matter how much good stuff I was doing, how much love I was giving him. If I made any type of little mistake, it was like the end of the world. Megan's the worst person in the world. That's how that lady at work did me. And so my new boss, he'd be real cool, or they'd be like, do you think you gave yourself too aggressive of a timeline? And I'm like, did I? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm used to so much pressure and having to do stuff so fast, and it ain't good enough even when I do it. Like, did I give myself too soon of a deadline? Or I remember this one day at work, he was like, hey, I didn't want to sign you up for this without asking you first. Do you think you can do this by this date? Like, he left the meeting with bigger bosses to come and ask me if I thought I could do something else that wasn't. He knew it wasn't on my, to-do list. He knew all that, but he cared enough to ask me because he don't want to, like, when you overwork people like that, that's what made them want to up and leave. And then you looking crazy because you had a star pupil and she left, and now y'all stuck because you was treating her like crap. That's what happened. And so they're not trying to lose talent like that. And he was mature and wise enough to realize that with me. And anyways, I remember I almost started crying. He was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I can't believe you asking me like if I'm okay with that." I was like, and because he even asked me, it made me want to do it before he even asked for me to get it done. Like, I will stop everything I'm working on right now to do that for you, sir, because you cared enough, you considered me enough to even ask. And I wasn't getting it at that job. Like, I'm sitting here working on stuff in the last job, and she not even talking to me directly. She ignoring me when I'm asking her stuff, trying to help her figure out how I can help, manage everything. And she's like, "Oh, well, tell Megan that she needs to have this done by this time today." And I remember when the last time she did that, I was like, "Y'all can tell her no, I'm not doing it." And I turned off my computer, and that was it for today. Like, I knew I was leaving that day. Like, she got me messed up. This is crazy. So that consideration piece was a lot. He worked hard to make sure I was feeling safe, and he didn't let me overwork at all. He always let me know he appreciated me. Like, and I thought I wasn't doing enough. Like, for me to go to work and not be stressed out and frazzled like 2 hours in, or just leave the day and I didn't feel like I was just falling apart, that was a big deal to me. And they would just be like, "Oh, you're doing so good. We're so appreciative of you." They would tell me that every week. He asked me before he asked any additional responsibility to me, all these things. And I'm just like, then people were trying to kill me at the other job, which we already knew because I had went to the emergency room 3 times in 10 days, and it was still, "Why didn't you have this done? Why didn't you have this done?" Ma'am, I almost died. What are you talking about? Like, what do you actually mean right now? So they didn't do me like that at the new job, and that really made me feel like, okay, like if they want me, I'm staying. Like, I don't know where else I would go. Like, where would I go? Let's be for real. Look at how they treated me. And so those little things. And so around month 4, he was like, "I'm gonna make you permanent." And I was like, "This is not the end of my 6 months." Like, I thought I had to see that I did the 6 months. He was like, "I'm gonna make you permanent." He was like, "But I need to ask you first before I just told them yes." Like, that consideration, like even before like just assuming or, "Yeah, Megan's gonna stay," he still asked me. And mind you though, I told you, this man told me this is the season I need to practice boundaries. And so somebody who see like, it's so much, somebody who sees you're struggling with boundaries but they care about you, they're going to move in a way with you to where you even realize and recognize like, "Oh, this is my choice," right? Like, "Thank you for making me feel like I had a choice," especially if you dealt with so much stuff over your life and you didn't feel like you had a choice. I really appreciate that about that man. I might check on him next week because I ain't been working a while. But he made me feel like stuff was my choice, but he considered me whether it was something that could have been negative or if it was something positive. And I was like, "Are you really asking me if I want to stay?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, I want to stay." So they ended up converting my stuff to where it would have worked out perfectly by the time I got to the 6 months. And that's what he told me. He was like, "I can't lose you." Like, and I don't even feel like I'm working as hard as I was working at the other job. But that's the thing. I'm working hard. I'm like I'm good. Like, that was making me feel like giving 500% wasn't enough. And so if you're going from giving 500% to giving 100 or 120 or 150, even 200, because I do feel like I overwork. Like, that's just how I am. That's just how I'm built. I don't know how to not like execute thoroughly. I don't know how to not do that. But it feels like I'm doing less and it's still appreciated. And so I was like, this is must going to be how it feels in a relationship, the right relationship. Like, I'm not having to jump through hoops, go through all this traumatic stuff, struggle in love, suffer in love to feel like I deserve, or I'm worthy of love, or I'm worthy of your time, or I'm worthy of your attention, or I'm worthy of your effort. Why do I have to do all this? Why have I had to share my body, sacrifice so much, drop everything for you? And you knew that I was that type of person, right? You knew what type of traumas I had. You knew how I struggled. You knew what type of issues I had because I told you. And instead of you taking care of me or looking out, you took advantage of that and you used it to benefit you, but in the process, it was harming me. And I was like, okay, I got it. And also understanding, like I said, because that's been heavy this season, like a man who really like you, he's not going to give anybody else the opportunity to be with you. A man who likes you is not going to risk losing you like that. Just like with the job, like he was telling me, like, I'm going to want you to stay. We're not getting rid of you. I know it's early on or whatever. It was originally cold in here and now I'm getting hot. He was saying all that, but his actions proved it, because within the next 6 weeks, it was like, "I'm making a move to make you permanent, but I want to check in with you and make sure that's what you wanted." I'm like, "Yes, that is exactly what I want." And so it'll be the same thing with a man who genuinely wants you. He's going to pursue you and he's going to lock that. And he's not going to play games. He's not going to play games, especially like, I ain't no loser. I would just like, I'm not no bad employee. So the man for you, the job for you, whatever you're talking about, they're going to recognize that in you. Like, you are truly value added over here. If a man don't see you as value added, you have no business in his life. If he does not see you as value added, why are you over there? Because if you truly were value added, if you truly were something that was treasured by him, valued by him, he wouldn't play with you. And even if you did struggle and have issues and stuff, which I know I do, I need to stop trying to people please. I need to stop this. I need to stop this. I need to stop this. People who see that in you, they're not going to take advantage of you. They're going to help you stop doing that. Just like at work, again, he's giving me boundaries. And so I knew work, I was messed up because little stuff like that would happen. And I would just be so shocked. Like, oh my God, he asked me if I could meet this deadline. This is crazy. But with my friend, I remember one day he was like, the world is yours. Now, mind you, any girl, any woman, like that's what we want, right? Like Amanda tell us that, like anything you want, like spoil you, this is this. And that's the type of time he said it on. But me being so traumatized from my past, I was like, what you mean by that? Like immediately defensive, like thinking he trying to be smart and funny. He looking crazy. I'm looking crazy. And I was like, oh my God, he meant that the nice way. But I'm so messed up in the head. I'm not even thinking the man is approaching me. Oh no, the world is yours. Anything you want, we're gonna do whatever you want. I'm not even thinking that. I'm literally like, oh, you trying to be funny, you trying to call me spoiled? Like how the other dudes have done. And it's crazy because the dudes that called me spoiled, called me a brat, they never did anything for me. They never showed up for me. They never even spoiled me with consistency. So what do you mean I'm spoiled? Like I'm dating a hater out of the gate. Do you understand what I'm saying? And somebody who actually does for me and shows up consistently, that's the one saying like, the world is yours. What you want? Like, oh, wait a minute. And so I knew that's the funny I was trying to tell y'all. I knew I was messed up when he said that. I was like, yeah, I need to heal because I'm clearly not okay. It wasn't immediately. I was like, oh, you trying to be funny? Like, just, I'm not gonna say pit bull, but not like sweet girl. It was immediately like, oh, you got jokes. And it was like, what? And I was like, oh, you're a gentleman. You're sweet. You meant that. My bad. I'm so used to men playing with me. Like, so I wanted to say that in the last live. It is hot. I think it's the ring light. It might be. I might need to turn this down. It's this is gonna be quick. I don't plan on being on here all day. I love y'all. I love music. I got super hot. It was cold. Like sweating. I don't like that. Okay, so Keyshia Cole, Enough of No Love, and Lil Wayne is in there. I actually like his part, and that's my favorite part of the video because she be dancing. It's so cute. But I was saying I never really had time to process all these emotions and these feelings, and so this season of my life, now that I'm processing it, it's been kind of cool, and it's been like how you would want it to be like on the movies. Like at first she's kind of sad, but then she really like, I'm good, like dancing around the house. You might have a moment, you might cry, but you enjoying your own company, you healing. Like that's what it's felt like. So whatever day I was at work, and I know being treated correctly was helping this come in, and that's why it's really important to sit with the Lord, because he is ultimately who's going to treat you correctly. He is going to love you correctly, and when you allow him to do that, especially when you read his word, and like, because they're love letters, but when you read his word and you see how he coming behind you, it will highlight like how fickle humans are and how humans are, but it'll also show you like what love is not, because the Bible is showing you what love is, and in some verses it's telling you what love is and what love is not, right? But he's so good and he's so faithful where he'll send people, and it's like, no, I'm sorry, they treat me so good, ain't no way I'm going for that over there no more. Like there's no way I'm doing that. So that's kind of what was happening for me when I was writing this out. And another part of this is personal accountability, because at the end of the day, if you struggle with boundaries, if you struggle with people pleasing and all those things, it's ultimately going to fall on you to figure that out, right? To not go into situations where you're going to keep struggling with those things, or where you're going to be in a position where you still like, oh, well, I got to do what he wants, or I'm going to lose him, or I got to leave us boundaryless, or I'm going to lose him. No, forget all of that. And yes, it would be nice. And some people are fortunate and blessed enough to where they date people early on and they're like that. They see that they care, they're able to care, they're able to cover, because that's important. Like the man for you is going to cover you. He's not going to leave you out here exposed. But all this will tie in when I get to the later part too, because it may be a season where the person for you can't cover you. He does leave you exposed. And maybe sometimes where your parents leave you exposed. So that's not, I was good at telling mine. Like, y'all just leave me out here with the wolves. And I don't understand that. Even when I was little, like, y'all can't tell me. And we had this conversation. Y'all can't tell me, like, at this age, I should know that. But it was like, okay, maybe I should know that at this age, but I'm still hurting from when I was 6 and that wasn't my job to do that. Or when I was 12 and it wasn't my job to do that. Or I didn't know how to do that. Or when I was even younger than that and I didn't know how to do that. And y'all don't want to hear that, right? So at this age, though, it really is my job to know how to set boundaries, to know how to, if I don't want to come around people, I don't have to go around people. If I want to say no, say no. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. I'm at a point in my life now where I actually do feel weird if I say yes and I really wanted to say no. And I feel kind of nasty if I say yes and I wanted to say no. Like, it feels dirty to me no matter in what regard. Like, you didn't even really want to do that. Then why did you do it? So stay true to yourself, and there is going to be personal accountability in here, because the only person that's really going to be looking out like that is the Lord, and He's going to teach you how to look out for yourself like that. So me and God were just talking about being strung along and hope deferred. And I was like, me and him had not sat down and talked about this or made a video about this in a long time. So that day at work, I thought it was very interesting that that's what we were talking about. So if we go to Proverbs 13 and 12, and I have a video about hope deferred, but I think the viewpoint when I made that video was like, because you're waiting for God to move, because you don't have it yet, you're in a state of hope deferred. And really, depending on the circumstances and the situation, that's not the right viewpoint. Like, you may have put yourself in a spot where you feel like that, or your heart posture is now putting you in that space. Okay. So Proverbs 13 and 12 says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Like, it's giving, it's producing. And that's when you've been longing for it for so long, you've been desiring it for so long. And on this channel, it makes sense that would be marriage. It makes sense that would be a child, right? But it could be other things. You could have been longing for a dream to be manifested, or a goal to be accomplished, or, to reach a certain height in your career. It could be many things, but on this channel, for most of us, it's probably going to be that, like, you've had that longing in you since you were a little girl. Like, I seen Sam's post of her and Tusi's daughter today. In the caption, she was saying, like, I've been dreaming about you since I was a little girl. Right. Certain women, because I know girls who weren't like that, but I was that little girl. That's why I was saying that in the live. Like, if you know you want to be a wife, if you know you want to be a mom, why are you dealing with a man who is going to, one, not give you that experience, or if he does give you that experience, it's going to be trash. It ain't going to be what you dreamt of. Right. And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, right? Because it does have to be some reality in there, but he is not going to give you what you always dreamt of. And as a little girl, I'm assuming the purity of your heart, what you dreamt of, that was truly from God. That was God giving you that desire as a little girl. So when Sam had posted that, I was like, yeah, exactly. I know what I've dreamt about. And so we have these longings, no matter what they are. I've told y'all consistently, like, I'm pretty sure I wanted to be married since I was 15. I knew I wanted to be a wife when I was younger, but I was longing to be married and to have my person and stuff at a very early age. That don't really surprise me how I'm built. And I'm certain my big mom was married prior to being 15. So, I mean, times was different back then. I would have been underage, clearly, but I've longed to have that since I was young, and I've always wanted to be a mom. So when we was little and we played house and different things, and I always want to have a good job. Like, when we played, I never did have no money ever, and I mean ever. So those are different longings that I had. And so when you're in a season, you can have that hope being deferred, because you aren't in a heart posture where you realize, like, God's timing is perfect. I'm going to have this when He wants me to have this. And you are feeling and experiencing the longing. And it's just like, when, God, when, God, when. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I had a moment like that probably like 3-4 weeks ago, when I told you I was crying with my mom and them for like a week straight on the phone. I had a moment like that. I'm like, I just don't understand. Like, He can just take the desire. Like, and I ain't had a moment like that with Him in a while. And my mom was telling me, like, Megan, what is heart posture? I'm like, I know she didn't just ask me what heart posture was. Like, it wasn't me that taught her this, ma'am. So, but she was right. My heart posture was wrong. So it can come from that, but you can also be with a man, okay, that is stringing you along, and he is giving you false hope. And we know what that looked like. Like, he trying to sell you a dream. He is making it sound like, oh, and if you do this, and when we do this, and if we did, and then we gonna. and it ain't nothing, or he making it seem like, oh well, maybe one day, or even if he don't explicitly say those things, he kind of behaves like that. Like he gives you little glimpses and little false hopes, right? And so he's stringing you along. It's like just enough to keep you attached, literally by like a little string, and he's just pulling you along. Like, oh, I might need her one day, or and I just like having her around. Like that's how a man will do you, and women can do men like that as well. So they're giving you false hope, and they're keeping you in a state of uncertainty or confusion. Okay. A man will do that to you. He never clarifies what y'all are. But this is why personal accountability is coming in. And I think that's why I was hearing Keisha Cole, like, I can't stay here. Right. Like, at some point, I never felt like I had that right to be like, no, I don't like what he's talking about. Bye. I don't know why I didn't feel like I had that option. Like, you always had that option. Like, you can leave. You don't have to stay here. I don't know if that comes in from trauma, and I literally had to go over them people's house every time I was getting babysat. I don't know, but I never felt like I could just leave. But you can. And so if a man is keeping you, if his lack of actions is keeping you in a state of uncertainty or confusion, you have every right to leave. That's on you to get out of there. You don't have to sit there and let him do that. But it's also a thing of like, is it out of season? Has he told you different things? Has he made it clear and you just don't want to accept that? So maybe this is the Holy Spirit. I didn't have this right now. Maybe he is making it clear where he's at, what his priorities are, what he's trying to do. And nowhere in there has he said you. But because you love him, you have these feelings for him, you're confused because he is showing you like this is what his priorities are, this is what he's doing, but you love him. Now, I will argue most women ain't gonna you don't just let his man, you probably slept with him. And that's where he went wrong. Most men are not gonna like, oh, but let me leave Shorty alone because I see what type of girl she is. I see let me stop telling her this and doing all these things with her because most men are not gonna be like, no. And so that's where that confusion is coming in. Y'all are on two totally separate pages. Even if you're expressing the page I don't know if that's the right side. Same consistency. Even if you're expressing what page you're on, how you feel about him, what you want to do, how you want to go about it, and he's expressing it. This is it. At this point, y'all are on two separate pages. And one verse God has always gave me for kingdom marriage is how can two walk together unless they agree? So if there is no level of, hey, we're on two different pages, how do we compromise in this moment? How do we compromise in this season? Like, do you love me? Do you want to be with me? Do you just need to focus on others? You get what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, that ain't in the conversation because if the man love you or whatever, he gonna compromise. Okay, so confusion can be coming in from different ways. You could be confused, and it's really like he made it clear, and even if he didn't say it, he said it with his actions, and it's hard for you to just accept it. I'm talking to myself because you love him, you this, you this, you this, and so now you are putting yourself in that place of hope deferred. You are stringing yourself along. He might not even be doing too much stringing you along anymore, even if you did other actions and stuff, but you're stringing yourself along. And that's why I always said these words about kingdom marriage was dangerous. I knew that. I've known that for years now, because for me, it was like you could stay in a very toxic relationship and just slap some of the stuff they were saying about kingdom marriage on there. And it's like, no, that's not really how that works. Like, this is only if it's your actual person. Y'all, I've dated like, since I've been talking about kingdom marriage, you know how many men I dated? Not to sound like crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it can't be true for all of them. You get what I'm saying? That's not possible. So the personal accountability part has to come in. And the breadcrumbs and the bare minimum. So to you as the woman, it may feel like, oh, he's not even trying. You're not his priority. Why would he be trying? He's already told you that, or he's shown you that. So he's not going to be it. Like, when you are a man's priority, you will know it's not going to be breadcrumbs. He's not going to be giving you the bare minimum because you are his priority. And so if he's already clearly showed you like that's not what this is, and now you sit here and you think you're getting hyped up like folks on Instagram, the girls on Instagram, oh, he this, he did. No, he doesn't like you. He's not prioritizing you. He doesn't want to be with you. And sometimes you just have to, I can't stay here. It ain't no luck. You got to realize that. Like, you have to realize that. And it's a you thing. And you can't blame him. And he this. Now, I always tell all my male friends, like, because I am a girl, I'm like, you shouldn't have fooled with her if you knew you didn't like her and you knew she wanted to be with you. What was you doing all that for? Why you still hitting? Why are you doing that? Like that's what I do to them. And then they be wanting some of them, like, well, I told her what it was. Stop trying to use that as an excuse. I feel like on both ends there has to be a level of personal accountability. Yeah, you told her what it was, but you knew what you was dealing with. You knew what type of girl that was. That's why when I made that reel or that short, and I was saying like he was a master manipulator because he knew you was a lover girl. He knew you really loved God. He even knew some of them, like he know what type of content you make, right? Oh, well, you get what I'm saying? Like that's manipulation at its finest. But there's personal accountability because if you really believed in God, if you was really locked in like that as a woman, you would recognize like, nah, this ain't it. Like it can't. And even if I think it's him, this is not the season for us because we are not even able to walk together on the same page. Like it's not happening. And sometimes you have to take a step back and you really just have to be like, all right. And that's nothing but personal accountability. Okay. So one thing or two things he gave me was self-deception and sin. And we kind of already hit on the sin. Like I pretty much already said that like you confused because you slept with him. That's why you're confused. That soul ties there. And also self deception. And y'all know I was real quick to be like, God, am I delusional? If I'm delusional, like just remove it. And I saw this video and this girl was saying that's so like weak of us and faithless of us to pray because we should be able to discern what's going on and remove ourselves, but we want to take that accountability away from us. Like why can't you just assess what's going on in a relationship and figure out this is not what God wants for you? This is not how God wants you to be treated. This is not what God wants you to settle for. Why would it have to be like a God? If it's not for me, then get rid of it, right? And I was like, I think I'd be doing that. Like when I watched the video, I was like, oh, she got me. This at this age, she got me, right? So I was really quick to ask God that though, like, am I delusional? Because I can't really say like I necessarily want this or I want to be treated like this. Then why are you still standing over there? Why are you still believing that? Why are you still waiting on that? You get what I'm saying? So Jeremiah 17:9 is the verse he gave me. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And I remember making a video and I was saying like you can follow your heart, but it's only when your heart is surrendered to the Lord. Again, so think about when you're a little girl, it should be from a pure place, and God is giving you that desire, that longing. I feel like it would be the same thing as an adult. Childlike faith, fully surrendered. Because when you little, you're not really hell bent on nothing, on no outcome. You just know, like, oh, I want to be a mommy. I want to be a boss. I want to be a what. You know that, but you don't know who it's going to be with. And I think it has to be the same way as an adult. Like, he'll give you those desires. And that's when you can follow your heart because you know that he gave you those desires. Um, Outside of that, our hearts are extremely wicked. Like it's just what it is. Sin, right? Like it's our nature. Like we cannot trust a heart that's not surrendered to God, fully surrendered to God. You can't trust that. So from there, are we good? Yeah, so we're about to yes. Right, exactly. And I've been seeing like people like I'm learning like people really will take their time because it's not healthy to just rush into anything, right? Like that's usually a sign of something. Like on your end as a woman, you could just be desperate for love and for the man, he trying to pull a fast one on you. Like if I move quick enough, then she not gonna see who I really am, like that. But it's okay to take your time and not rush it, but just because you're going slow, there's still supposed to be intention in there. There's still supposed to be like that man, like I told y'all, the older man had told me like him showing you that he's worthy of your time and your attention and he's a safe place to be at and he don't want you just for your body. Like there's still intention in that. He's still making you feel seen and special and all those other things. So but I'm seeing where people are still being treated so good and so spoiled, which I'm not coming off of that. Like I don't care if you do think I'm spoiled. I am. I am. I told my mom that the other day. I'm spoiled. Now a brat is somebody who is spoiled and they're ill mannered. I don't think I'm ill mannered, but I'm definitely spoiled. But I'm seeing where people are treated so good in the beginning stages, and so it's like, yeah, of course. When he asked me to be his girlfriend, I was like, absolutely, because I thoroughly enjoyed the stage before that, getting to know each other. I enjoyed the friendship, like whatever. I enjoyed that stage because it still had intention. Like it's supposed to build up. And then, so kind of like what I'm saying at work, like he told me and I was like, okay. And then was like, so do you want to say permanently? Absolutely. But it was my choice. Same thing. So the girlfriend proposals I think are really sweet. Like, do you like me? Yes or no? Do you want to be with me? Yes or no? Like, and so it's still her choice. Like, will you be my girlfriend? And even now, as I think about that, like that is pretty. Like, men is asking the women that. It's not the women asking the men that. It's the man asking the woman that. Posture, everything got changed. And so then I'm assuming you're gonna enjoy that girlfriend stage with him. It's more serious. It's even more intentional. I hope everybody's dating with intention. Like, baby, I'm trying to be married one day. I am trying to pop out like lots of kids in my 30s, actually, like because I thought I'd have 5 by now. So, by the time you get to like, will you be my wife? It should be a whole lot of peace and certainty. And yes, I will. Right? Like it should be like that. And so don't settle. Okay. Like just don't settle. Be with a man who intentionally wants to be in your life, like for real, and build with you. Like that's just where I'm at. So once we did the heart is deceitful, I was like, okay, God, well, how to get there? Y'all know when I get to talking, I get caught on. So this is where I got a little real. So we're gonna get a little bit more real, and then we're gonna end it on a nice note. Your childhood, and God simply told me your heart was broken before you ever started dating. And I was like, now why would we say that? But then I thought about it and I was like, he ain't lying though. Like I started dating when I was 15 and my heart was definitely broken before then. And it doesn't have to be just romance that breaks your heart. We've had trials and traumas and all these things. A lot of people had them prior to, I had them before 15. A lot of people had them early on. And so that's what he was telling me. Like your heart was broken before then. And my parents were, I hate throwing around just like words, but I really was like, um, I feel like the emotional part in my household just was not there. And so for me, that felt like neglect, especially because I'm somebody that is so like emotionally aware. And it was like, can't nobody see me? And I see everything. Like I felt like that even as a child. So that was kind of heartbreaking to experience with them. Um, but also the things that transpired and that were beating up on me and what was happening. Like my family had hurt me prior to I was 15, like being bullied by my cousins and all that. That broke my heart. The abuse definitely broke my heart. So by the time I was 15, I think even witnessing certain things with other people did something to me too. Like it probably distorted my views on things. So it wasn't necessarily anything that I experienced. I don't have no lip gloss in here. It wasn't anything that I personally experienced, but it's things I witnessed. So what if like you grow up and you see your mama beating your daddy? I'm pretty sure that will break your heart. Or just anything to hurt your heart and your view of love. And I think like the intention part, that's probably why you had me hitting on that. God is intentional. He is very intentional. And so I can't be in any spaces or relationships where God is not there. Enough of no love. If he's not in it, that is not love. There's no love there. So I can't be in places where there's no love. He is very, very intentional. And so I'm saying all that because by the time I really did start dating, my heart really was already kind of a little jaded, a little wayward. I've lived a little bit. I was, at 15, I think that's when I first had I told y'all my cheerleading coach, I gave us those law of attraction stones or something. Like I was already kind of a little misguided. But when I started dating, like my idea of love at 15 is not what I would say love is now. And I knew the Lord back then. I was baptized by the time I was 15, but it wasn't who and what I know love to be now. And as we evolve in life and as we grow, I think we get to know God more, right? Like I'm like, how cool is it that we get to learn the depths of his love for us as time goes by? That's why the seasons part is important because I know God loves me prior to me being this version of me that is not 100% healed. But my spouse is going to be growing and evolving and stuff over time. But I do believe that's why God says don't awaken love before it's time. That's why it hurts. So like even if it's down to like love and it's just like the idea of love, in romance and stuff. And I know people who do that. Like they don't date, they don't do nothing, and then when they do date, like that's the one. I've seen stories like that. That's not my story, and I've always told y'all that like that's just not Megan's story. Um, but yeah, I think that's why he tells us that don't awaken love before it's time because it really does hurt. And one of the quotes I was thinking about when I was writing this was Bob Marley, I think, and he says a man who awakened a woman's love he a coward, something like that. I think it's Bob Marley. I don't know, but like he has no intention of taking care of her heart. That's not, and men just be out here, and that's just it's normalized. It's so normalized, and it's some women who can even move like that. And I've been telling my friend, like I ain't like that. I had to accept how I am. I can't sleep with you, and that's like that. That's not me. Immediately, you my husband now. You know what I'm saying? Like because and biblically, like that's actually accurate. Like that's how I am built. I cannot do that. You have no business sleeping with a woman if you have no intention of protecting her heart, of protecting her, of looking out for her. Now I'm like, all that stuff that man was telling me is making sense now. That's why he was saying that. Like that intention from that man should be there before he ever has your body, before he ever gets to experience that with you. That like that intention should be there. Like I'm gonna look out for her, I'm gonna take care of her, I'm not gonna do nothing to hurt her. Now things change, right? And that's been something that's kind of scary. Like he could have that intention, but then months or years down the road, it changes. And that's why it's so important for God to be in it. If love not in it, like for real, I don't need to be over there because God is going to put you with the person where that's not going to happen. Like in 10 years, he's not going to be like, oh, I don't think I love you anymore. We grew apart. I hate when people say that. What do you mean you grew apart? Like you really grew away from God or y'all was never supposed to be together to begin with. That's how I feel. That's honestly how I feel. Now I'm no relationship expert, but that's how I feel. But that intention don't be there. And so this is where it gets dangerous. The note I wrote was, I longed for love in a human to be seen. So that's that emotional part. Cared for, cherished, and protected. And my parents protected me, they didn't protect me from everything. You know what I'm saying? Like everything I thought they should protect me from, they didn't. So I really have always wanted to be with a man who I felt like saw me, like for me, and like my sensitivity, my gifts, my big heart. Like those are things that made me me. But also like he saw it and he protected it. Not he saw it and he was like you know how we were saying Rebecca hit a lick with Isaac. I never want a man like, oh yeah, I got me a good one. She gonna do whatever I say. I get to cheat. I get to do this. I get to do this. And she love someone. She gonna sit here and just let me do it. No, that is not protection. And I don't care if you would shoot 10 men if they looked at me crazy. If you can't look out for my heart, if you can't protect me from you, and I've dealt with that. And I may have even I probably had this conversation with my daddy honestly because one of my greatest loves up until this point in my life, that's how he is. I know nothing bad would ever happen to me in his presence. However, he hurts me like emotionally. You get what I'm saying? He hurts me. He would never hit me, right? But he hurts me emotionally, mentally. You get what I'm saying? And my daddy kind of thinks like that. Like, when have I ever not protected you? I know you lying. What you mean? Like, one from either, your hurts and pains, your issues, or even just down to like you're so distracted by other things and you didn't protect me from other people having access to me because you weren't paying attention. You get what I'm saying? So that's always been very important to me. Like, and I'm not saying I don't want the other stuff. I would hope you would handle anybody that was bothering me. I do want physical protection. Yes, absolutely. But I also want it the other ways. Now, my mom, she'll tell you like she wanted the physical protection or not the financial protection and stability. Like that's what she was worried about. Like I got to be with somebody where I know like we good. And that's all she was worried about. That's what she got. Me, I don't want to lose that in my admission of I need it emotionally too. Like I think that's going to be the only difference between my household and my parents is that emotional part. I really do. So you have to know that about yourself. And I see why I chase behind men because they would pretend like they saw me and all this, but then they would just use that to get access to me. Especially when you're talking about girl, man, he just want access to your body. Can I be real? So there's that. So God led me to First Corinthians, and love does protect. That's in there. I was like, wow. Love, trust. I love me some Keisha Cole. That's a song. Trust. Love hopes and it perseveres. So this is how he tied everything back together. And I feel like the perseveres, like that matters. I'm not saying the man is going to be perfect, but y'all's love really will be. I feel like that's like a real, like every perfect gift comes from above. And so God is in it if it's perfect for you, if it's helping you grow, develop, prune and stuff, mature. But you know when you're in a situation and it's not that, or even if you really wholeheartedly believe like this man is my husband, but it's like I ain't got no business being in his life right now though. Not like that. I have no business trying to awaken something or force something like that. Like he's not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. Like that's personal accountability. And I told y'all when he was like, I'm trying to think for you. I appreciate that because you know how I am. Like at this point, I'm not thinking, not logically, not, about this. Like, and you want to be with a man that's able to be like, hey, like, I know this is how you feel. This is what you want, but like, let's sit down, let's talk about this. And this is logically like what we need to do, but not even like logically because hopefully that man is being led by God too. And so it's like, I hear you and they validate your feelings and stuff, but like, this is what we're actually going to do. This is what we need to be doing in this season, in this moment. And then you being a woman, you listen. That post that Justin posted, and it was like, this is a perfect example. That post that Justin LeBoy posted, and it was like, what y'all gonna do if your man says, basically like you can't spend no money for 6 months. You have to eat at the house. No shopping, no extra stuff. Like, what are you gonna do? Me, when I read the post, I was already did that this year. I ain't do nothing for 6 months. I didn't get my hair did for 6 months or my nails. Like I did everything at the house, save my money. What are you gonna do if your man says to do that? Now, a man or a woman who really loves you, she gonna be okay. That's cool. That's easy. Like, and that's what me and him talks about. Like, we can say we prefer this, we prefer this, we prefer that, but when you really love somebody, you gonna do whatever y'all need to do what's best for y'all in that moment, in that season. And so you want a man that is looking out for y'all, the we, the us. You want to pay attention to that. His future planning doesn't include you because that shows his intentions, right? To have you in his life, to make you a part of his life, to prioritize you in his plans. You got to pay attention to that. But some women is that's slight, like that's easy. Wherever he say, especially if you know he's responsible, especially if you know like he's a man with a plan, you really believe in him, you believe in God's vision that God gave him, you believe he heard God clearly, like that's really not gonna be a thing. But for some women, like I seen that video where that man bought a house and the lady was like, why would you buy this house? This is not the type of house I wanted. But he was considering like their budget, their income right now, like how fast he thought they would have additional income. Maybe we can get a house like that in a few years, but like right now, I think this is good. And she was so ungrateful, right? And I feel like when men when they deal with women like that, it's hard for them to believe it's women that's not like that. And so when I read that post, it made me think about my parents. And I really do think that's why they're so blessed. Because I remember being little, and when you're little, you don't really have a say so in like what you want. At least I did it. Not like how these kids do. Like them kids will tell me they want to go Chick-fil-A. Baby, I didn't even know what Chick-fil-A was. So I was in college. My mom didn't want to pay for me to go to Chick-fil-A. I didn't know what Chick-fil-A was, so I went to Auburn. I was like, oh, and I take myself there now as an adult. Like that's grown people money. That ain't kids don't just go to Chick-fil-A. That wasn't my generation. We ate on the value menu at McDonald's and shared. Like it was these kids are different. Anyways, I remember like when I saw the post, I was like, my whole childhood, it feels like my whole childhood. But now when I look back, when we were getting ready to move here, and you're a child, so you don't know all this stuff. When we were getting ready to move here, stuff was tight. But tight because my dad is very good with money. Um he's very frugal. Like he just knows what he's doing. And mind you, what did I say my mom prayed for? Right? Like she needed that financial security. So stuff was tight because dad made it tight. And even like this year after the wedding, he was like, y'all already know what type of time I'm gonna be on. Right. Like he's able to do big, fancy, extravagant stuff like that, like he did for my sister because of how he is with his money. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Before we moved here, I remember for like a long time, this could have even been when we got here, every day for lunch, especially in the summers, because we could go take him his lunch. My daddy would eat, and they started laughing at me the other day. They were like, how do you remember that? I was like, I just remember my daddy's lunch every day was a bologna sandwich, sour cream and onion chips in a plastic baggie, like not like, you know how now we get like individual size bag. No, like a probably wasn't even a name brand bag of chips. Like a bologna sandwich, sour cream and onion chips in a sandwich bag, and an oatmeal cream pie. He ate that every day because they were trying to save money. They had a strict budget, all that. And my mama happily lived like that. Now I can't tell y'all what we was eating. I don't remember, but it couldn't have been too fancy if that's what my daddy was eating every day. And I'm pretty sure dinner was, proportioned out and all of that. And that wasn't a thing. Like as kids, no, ain't nobody at the house. I don't even know what's going on with the money. I just eat what they put on the table, right? Like I don't remember what was eating for dinner or for lunch. But my mama didn't play that. Like even it's so funny. My cousins now will tell y'all like when they came to our house, they could not eat our school snacks. And nobody ever understood that. Like, Uncle Greg got money, this. Like, why y'all acting like we can't have a Capri Sun? Y'all got all these in it because those were like literally budgeted and rationed out. Like, my mama bought 10 Capri Suns. Them 10 Capri Suns are gonna get Megan and Morgan through their school week. It wasn't for nothing extra. Like that's what they're for. And even me, like I couldn't have a juice for snack because I had one a day that was rationed out. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I do kind of remember what stuff was like for me back then too. But they were so strict in budgetty about it. And I don't know why we talk about money so much, but I know that's such a delicate topic in relationships these days. But that's how they were able to reach certain goals. So I'm saying that because like a wife, a woman that really loves you, she's literally not going to care. Like if and in my mind, I would tell my man that now we got to eat bologna sandwiches, and I probably have said that like we got to eat bologna sandwiches for 6 months. That's what we're doing now. My problem with doing that at this day and age is I don't eat bologna like that, and I eat pretty healthy, so I'm gonna just need like a budget at the store because I eat a lot of fruit. Like it's not like how I was in the 90s, like just different times. But I wouldn't mind, even if it was longer than 6 months. Like, what if your man is like, I need to do this for 2 months? And I think a lot of times they don't lock in with you or with us or with a woman, period, because it's really hard for them to believe a woman would, lock in like that with them. And our house always felt like a home and like love and like whatever dad needed, we was all gang. Like, because my mama was gang, which forced us to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I pray that God's sons start to see that and realize that like this like first date situation, I asked those questions and I let them ask me those questions. And it was like, how you feel about 50-50? And I was honest. I looked at him. I was like, I'm not trying to pay no bills. And this might be why they don't take me serious. I was like, I'm not trying to pay no bills. And so that can put pressure on a man. But you have to know I'm kidding. You also have to know I got my own money. Like I got you if you don't got you, if it come down to it, right? Like, but I'm hoping it don't come down to that. But you know what I'm saying? But I know at the end of the conversation, because now I'm like, it's like more trusting and more comfortable, and y'all get to know each other, and then you have different conversations weeks and months later. But I remember that's when I told him that. I was like, I said that, but with the right man, like, I don't care about none of that. Like, whatever worked best for us, that's what we're going to do. And I just hope God's sons start to realize that. Now, a man telling me I can't spend no money for 2 years, I don't know how I respond to that. Like, can I spend my money? Or you're saying, like, even my money got to go to the cause. Like, but if it's the right man, it's not gonna matter. I've only dated one man that I would give him my whole check, and I feel like that's when you know what you're dealing with, and that's when you know you can really trust a man financially. My one ex, I'm scared, Kiki. What you trying to ask me? What's it about? What's it pertaining to? My one ex, he was very mad at me because I didn't give him my money, and he knew I had money. He would know my taxes hit, how much it was, all of that, and he would be mad because I wouldn't give it to him. And I just wasn't raised like that. I also am not really too attracted to men who want my money. But that's the thing. That's the man I would give my money to. The one who wouldn't dare ask me for it. Something just made noise. That's the one that I would give my money to. But I've only interacted with one man where I would give him my whole check and not even think twice about it. Like, you tell me what we're doing with this. I only experienced that once. But that's when you know a man has vision from God and he's responsible, with it. Or either you just a dumb. I don't know. I could have just been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in that situation. But I would have gave him a check and I would have, quote unquote, struggled with him. I do feel like that's when you know it's love too, because my mama says that. She's like, it didn't feel like we were struggling. Like you looking back and you saying that, but that's not how you really see it. Like we working towards something. We got goals. We got goals, not he got goals and you get what I'm saying? Like it's a we thing. Like they was getting ready to move into this house and it was the whole family. My daddy coming with my mama, not a man that wants your money so he can get rich and then he gonna ditch you and be with the next girl. This the same man that's mad that I'm not giving him my money because I would have gave you the money and you would have dogged me. That's why you didn't get the money. Like be so for real with me right now. But when it's for y'all, it's different. And so until a man makes you, and then you don't want man just playing with you, and now he knows to say these things because then I'm gonna have her going like, no. When you know it's genuine, it's genuinely a us, it's genuinely a y'all, it's genuinely a we. This is where I'm trying to go. You're dealing with a woman who cares about your hopes, your dreams, your goals, your vision, and vice versa. It's just different. I feel like you really don't have them conversations. I really feel like you don't. Hey, girl. It's okay to be kissing her. Is that wrong? Girl, I think that's a personal conviction. But I'm gonna kiss my man. I might not sleep with him, but I'm gonna kiss him if I like him. People say not to because it can lead to more, but for me, I only kiss men for like 20 something years. I knew how to kiss and stop. Now a man may tell you he don't want to do that because he don't know how to kiss and stop. But that's a personal conviction. And you know, honestly, maybe if mine was stronger, I wouldn't be in this boat I'm in now. So maybe don't take advice from me. Maybe don't take that from me. But no, I don't think it'll ruin the relationship or you gonna go to hell or nothing like that. That's a personal conviction. Ask God. And I like this is too much. I was gonna say I don't just be out here just kissing folks up. It's my notes I wrote last night for what I'm about to do on TikTok. That was one of the bullet points. I was like, I didn't even like kissing him. That should have been a sign. It really should have been a sign. Because what is this? I should have known we wasn't compatible then. But we got really derailed. Finances has been a heavy thing. Like, I saw an old Snapchat and it was like, God is turning up the homemaker in you while turning up the provider in him. And I was like, I don't even remember. I released this. That's a word. I thought this is crazy. But that's what I'm saying. If y'all got love, you could be living in a box. And I'm going to stand on this. And I'm told one in particular this quite a few times, but we could be in a box and I would still be happy because love is what makes you rich. And I've been telling my mom that all week. I don't know. I just feel rich now. It's different. I don't know if I feel like I ran up on a check spiritually because I love myself differently now, but I'm like, I actually feel rich in spirit at the moment. And it comes in waves. But you and that man could be living high or low, ups or downs. And as long as y'all got each other, it's going to be love. It's going to feel like home. Like if I love you and we are living in a box, I might maybe somebody gave me a pen or let me borrow a marker or something. And I'm going to decorate that box. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to write words to affirmation on that box. Like, I love you all over the box. You're going to feel loved at home, even in this box. And it's the same energy that I would put into a 4-bedroom house. It's the same energy I would put into the castle I hope to one day live in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter because I should love you in the castle, in the box, in between. That's what real love feels like. And a man, because my mom and dad teach me this, a man wants to give where he, like, to the woman that don't ask. Like, babe, give me like I know you got all these goals, but let me have this much money to go get me something that you really don't even need. And I like that too. I like structure. I like for a man to be like, you don't need that. You right. I don't. I don't. Like, no one to tell me no, but also tell me yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's balance. My dad ain't never been for no unnecessary spending. Like, so I understand that. I get that structure. I get that. And my mama is like that. So when we be out and they're like, you do not need that. You just picking stuff up. You just wasting money. And then you be in a times like this and you like, why did I buy those $200 Uggs the other week? I wasn't even anticipating the government shutdown. I could have, why did I buy those? You get what I'm saying? So you want, you want a man that's like, he gonna provide. So say y'all living in the box. I really like this. Say y'all are living in the box. Okay, no, for real. I just seen a video where this lady was passing out food to the homeless. Say you are in a really tough spot. And he had told the lady, he was like, can I get another one for my wife? She right behind me. I promise. Like he's making it like I'm not lying. She's right behind me. He's still bringing food, even if it was free food that he had to get from somebody that was given to the homeless. He's still bringing food back to that box. Do you get what I'm saying? He is still providing. That is a heart posture. I don't ever want a man I'm with to think he got to have $1,000,000 for me to consider him to be a provider. That's not how that works. That is not how that works. It's your heart posture. Are you going to try to take care of me? And if what you got is that what I got? Because say he couldn't get 2 bags. Is he going to come back to the box and he going to share his hot dog with me? And same with certain women. What if I come up on a free meal or something and I know you as a man, you going to need more? I can't stand no stingy man. Like I know I said that on the live. I have to deal with a generous man because I'm generous. So I understand like you a man, you probably need more calories. Probably don't need as much calories. What if I give you the majority of this sandwich and I take this little piece of this sandwich? Maybe you give me a little bit more fries or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like it's gonna work out when y'all both truly love each other. Like that homemaker is gonna be there. You don't have to have a mansion to be a homemaker. You don't have to have $1,000,000 to be a homemaker. Just like a man don't have to have a mansion or be able to put you in a mansion or have $1 billion to be a provider. That all that is a heart posture. All of it. Yeah, girl. Talk to the Lord about it. I never felt convicted about kissing ever. Ever. So, but again, that could be why I'm in this spot. um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that stuff don't matter. Because in one season, his goal could be just to get a good job or to finish school, and y'all help each other stay motivated and focused. Another season, it could be something totally different, totally bigger. And I see that with my parents. Like they fell in love a long time ago. It don't just be my parents. It's any couple. They fall in love so long ago, but she's that same supportive, assisting wife in every season of your life. Every season. And he that same provider, like I gotta make something shake so we can, have what we need. Like he's that same person in every season of your life. And one season it might just be you need groceries in the dorm. That could be what it is in one season. In another season, it's something totally different. He can invest in your business. He can give you the startup money. Who knows? But y'all are gonna evolve. The love should be the same regardless. And it don't have to just be stuff like that because they was going in on Keisha and Gucci, and I did not like that. Now that everybody's had a day to kind of reflect on that, Megan did not like that. I told you I was not judging them. I was not judging them. But it could be the same. Like you gonna love them. Y'all know we went through that series of Kingdom Marriage Words, and it was like the vows, and that stuff was hitting me hard. Like, in sickness or in health, sickness is across the board, physical, mental, whatever. In sickness and in health, richer or poorer. Like if your love change based on the conditions, it's really not love. But then people will like don't play with me because men like to play with unconditional love. You want me to tolerate your disrespect and abuse and call it unconditional love? No, nowhere in the vows does it say you're gonna still love me if I disrespect the hell out of you. Let's be honest, that's not in the vows. But what if they are disrespecting you though because they are struggling mentally? But don't get too crazy with the loopholes because that'll get you some crazy positions. But I think wedding vows are very, very, very serious. Very serious. Yeah, no matter what it is. Literally, no matter what it is. Um, we were talking about I want it to be seen and protected, and I believe the protection piece is how we ended up in the finance world. That was not my plan for the evening. So if you go to First Corinthians 13 and 7, God talks about what love is, right? And he was telling me in this season, my hope was being restored. Like in love, in romance, in my love life. I ain't never really had high hopes. The bar been in hell. Let's keep it a bug. It's been in hell. And I think I might have put that on Snapchat. I'm like, I've recently said this somewhere. The bar has been in hell. And so I feel like God had me really reflecting on like how he loves me so we could raise the bar. And it's way higher than in hell. Like that bare minimum stuff, you're not finna be telling me you love me and this, and you don't mean it, and your actions say like literally everything but that. Like the bar has literally been in hell. I've pretty much always been cheated on because if you're in situations, that's what that is. So not being faithful, ain't nobody been faithful to me. I probably had a couple of healthy talking stages, but I messed them up because it was scaring me because it was healthy. Um, but the bar literally been in hell, and I'm tired of the bar being in hell. And it is not in hell because it's like they don't have nothing that no. Now, granted, me being me, it would be kind of crazy for me to like. I think I'm gonna deal with somebody on my level, but a man really might be in a tight spot, and God will be showing you that if that's the case. But in this generation, he ain't even going. He not gonna fool with you because he in a tight spot. So, um, yeah, the bar's been in hell, and me and God have been working on raising it out of hell. Um, all my relationship experiences, I don't want to say trash. Like I've been thanking God. I'm very grateful, but ain't no man ever came in my life and really was just like, I'm gonna treat you right, and that's the end of it. That hasn't happened yet. That's probably gonna be how I identify my husband. Like, word? You gonna do what? Like, I prom like I was listening to a Mona Leo and the Breakfast Club interview. Y'all, I could tell y'all a lot about that. I just watched her and Stunner for Vegas, her husband, their interview on the Breakfast Club. And they were asking her like how she knew he was the one. But he was saying like he heard about all the stuff she went through, and he was like he wanted to make sure she never went through none of that again. That's what I'm saying. Like for me to open up and bear all to at least two men, and it's like, baby, I told you all that, and it's like you did everything you could to make it worse. You was like, oh, you thought you was hurting before. I'm finna show you hurting. I've dated men that did that, so it's like to hear a man say like she's made it through all this stuff, she survived all this stuff, and I just wanted to be the person that was like go make sure she didn't hurt again. Yeah, send me one of them. That send me one of them guys, not a man who knows everything I've been through and he not even trying to make it better. Because that's how I am. Like I always thought in previous relationships, like, well, dang, had I knew, I would have never did that. Like the way I thought I hurt him, like I never would have did that if I'd known he had like a legitimate wound from that. But I never knew. And so once I found out, it was like, oh, I'm never gonna make him feel like that. I will never do that. And it kind of got me caught up because that's the type of person I am. I don't can't nobody come tell me something somebody put them through and I sit there and I do it again. Like even that data situation last year, that's really why I kind of self-sabotaged because he was telling me what his ex did. And I was like, well, you finna hate me because I'm in the same predicament. And I'm not even finna let us continue. And you don't know I'm in that same predicament. And that's literally what happened. Because I can't, whether I love you or care about you, I probably don't even got to care about you. I just cannot do that to a person. I know this hurts you. And I sit up there and I do it or do it worse or do it 10 times worse. Like, why do men do that? I don't know. But because that's been done to me so many times, I cannot do that to a man. So that probably will be how I identify him. And I'm going to be in a place where I'm not rejecting it. So how I'm saying I had like two talking stages where one in college, he was taking me serious. And I didn't even know to do it. I'm like, what is this? Sir. And probably last year. That's the one that's put me up on that game. But you know, um, so I think that's probably will be how I know. Like I'm healed enough now to not reject it, like how I used to in the past, or how I have done in the past. But also, it'll be a man who like really not finna play about me. Like this girl has a beautiful heart. She has survived so much stuff. She's still kind. She try to help people all over the world. I try. And he not gonna want to hurt me. Like I'm pretty sure that's how I'm gonna know. So that interview was really good. If y'all haven't seen it, I will go watch it. Yes. And I will tell y'all this, cutting with my family, I feel like I had to go back and revisit all the words. If y'all recall, when Ken and Mary's words started getting heavier for me, one of the first ones I did was scared to love, scared of love. And I talked about a lot of that stuff we talked about on the live, like mommy issues, daddy issues. And on the live, I was heavy on like boys and their moms, but a man can have issues because of his dad. And a woman can have issues, yes, with her because of her dad, but also she can have issues because of her mom. So it doesn't just have to be the opposite. That's just what we were talking about yesterday. Because that's what I've dealt with a lot of. Like, and my ex's moms, that's what I'm saying. It's trash. My ex's moms hated me. I can't think of one. Uh, One mama liked me, but I couldn't stand her son, so that don't really count. She was trying to like push him off onto me. Like, he can go live with you. No, he can't, ma'am. He gonna stay at your house. We're not doing that. That's when I was a little bit younger. But my first like boyfriend, I just told my mom this the other day. She was like, see, and why you ain't tell me that when this was happening? I was like, because I knew you weren't gonna let me go back over there. When I was 16, my boyfriend when I was 16, 17, one of them years. I could drive. That's all I knew. When I would go over his house, his mama would be talking mess as soon as I got out of the car about me. Like, as soon as I got out of the car, walking in the house, just talking straight mess. And his older sister would be like, "Mom, stop!" Like, the older sister loved me. She thought I was so sweet, good for her brother. The mama hated my guts. Um, the other long-standing relationship, his mom never even wanted to get to know me. And that's how I knew she didn't like me, because we were always together, even when no, we was together enough to where she would know about me. I had her whole grandbaby. Like, ma'am, you don't want to get to know me, like meet me ever. And even when we went out of town, me and him went on that trip, and I remember she had called, and nowhere in the call was it like, "Oh, tell Megan I said hey." And so I remember I was like, "Tell," and I call everybody mama, mama, everybody daddy, daddy, or pops. Like, that's just how I am. Friend or romance. I was like, "Tell mama I said hey," and it was so like, "Yeah, whatever. Hey, Megan." Like, what? Like, she did not like me. So I think that'll even help me identify my husband, because in my mind, I've already been praying that my mother-in-law would love me like her own daughter. Like, y'all not gonna play with me, and I know that because my parents are gonna love my husband like their own son. So that's been traumatizing in the relationship arena for me, and it's either been that or they mamas thought that they was they wife or their girlfriend. And I'm not doing that either. I told y'all that in the last live. So that's been pretty traumatizing. It's always been stuff with other girls, cheating, baby mamas. That's all I want to deal with it. And that might not be fair to a man who wouldn't put me through nothing like that, or who really got his baby mamas in check and really got his baby mama out of his system. But all that was traumatizing. I cannot believe I sat there and put up with all that. Um, then it was like I became an adult and I did have to suffer through, gotta be careful how I say this, broke men. And I mean spiritually and physically. And we keep talking about these things. They say a man is the meanest and the most frustrated when he's broke, and he gonna treat you the worst. Most men. They don't want you around when they're trying to figure stuff out. For me, I was dating men who was doing things I was like strange for some change, and I'm very inquisitive and I'm very pattern oriented. So it was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And they never want to confess what they was doing, so that was problematic. Or men who want to spoil me so bad and they're really just not in the place to do it. But I don't put pressure on them. They put pressure on themselves. Ain't nobody asked you to take me to Turks and Caicos. Like, you don't think I know you don't got that money to do that? I know that. Like, that's why I never understood. What have I been asking you for besides like to not cheat and be a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never asked you for nothing. You broke and you cheating. That's not gonna work for me. You ain't no way you coming up in my life. You broke and you cheating. That's not happening. That I do know. You're not finna do that. Like the audacity, but also just like broken spiritually. And in both the relationships I'm thinking about when they were doing something strange for some change, I'm pretty sure I told both of them God did not want them doing that. But nobody listens to me. They just think I'm talking. And I'm like, no, I really think he's relaying this message to you through me. He does not want you doing that to make money. That's putting you in a very dangerous spot, a very bad situation. And they didn't listen. And it was a very bad situation. I picked a lot of, I don't know if you can call men ducks. I don't know the right word, but I picked a whole lot of, why did you do that? Which don't that make me a duck if I was picking them? I'm a duck too. I think that's how it works. Um, so yeah, it's just been bad. Like even 15, like that boy was at my house all the time. He was my first everything, met my daddy. But if it was prom or something that was like uh important in or homecoming and something everybody would see him with somebody, he didn't go with me. Mind you, I'm a cheerleader. I'm a cute, pretty, perky cheerleader, and I'm smart. But he treated me like I'm a loser. No girl deserved to be treated like that, but that's how he was doing me. This other boy that I really liked in high school, he was dealing with a crazy girl that tried to run me over with a car. She tried to be cool with me in our 20s. I'm like, girl, I forgot you tried to hit me with a car when I was a teenager. Like, it's always stuff like that. Like, why can't it just be like, oh no, it was this other really nice boy in high school, but I did him wrong. Yeah, I forgot about that. So no, there were 3 incidents where a man was or boy was pursuing me. Now, if we're being realistic, the one in high school probably wouldn't have lasted, even though we did end up talking and kicking it a couple times as adults. But I ran back to Crazy Boy, which was stupid. And my dad told me not to do that in the kitchen. I told him I had started dating the nice boy. See, I gotta do this over teenage girls. I had started dating the nice boy. He was so sweet to me. He did want to be my date to different things. Asked me, like he knew I didn't have a date. He was like, "Do you want me to be your date?" Like, yes. Um, he was so sweet to me. Word was spreading around the school. He played on the basketball team. He was cute. And also like I was the girl, like, if I start liking the boy, then everybody liked him. Pause. Y'all wouldn't even like stunt him until I liked him. That was the thing. Um, and this is what toxic exes do. This particular ex, I can't stand this man. I ain't talked to y'all a long time. We're gonna come back to that. But this is what toxic exes do. He saw me moving on from him, leaving him alone. Mind you, this boy was at my house all the time. That's what people didn't know. He was at my house every week. He met my daddy like he was about to really do something with me. And that was the first boy that had told me, like, you're not my girlfriend. Like, what? What? Because he was doing stuff with other girls, and I was trying to not even check him, but just ask him, like, what do you mean? And like, you're not my girlfriend. Okay, anyways. So he felt me moving on. He popped back up, kid you not, and he was like, I want to give us another try. Me being stupid, I ran downstairs and I'm telling my mom and them, because I'm happy with the other boy. It's consistent. He treats me like a princess, even as, like teenagers. Because think about this. Like, no, you don't have money like that in high school, but like buying me a tea or an extra pizza or something, that's probably only $1.50. So that was a big deal in high school. So he was spending money, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I wanted. And or buying candy at the games, whatever. And so my toxic relationship was like, I'm gonna try to make it work. And I remember running downstairs to my mom and them, and I showed my daddy the text, and he was like, I'm telling you now, don't pick him. Like, stick with the nice one, the one that talked to you every night, want to hear your voice every night. Like literally, like the only time you don't talk to him is when he's in practice, like you know what he's doing, or he's at church and like my dad was telling me this. I had to be like, I was probably, could I drive then? Don't know. I can't recall. But he was telling me and I was like, "Okay, did I listen to my daddy? Absolutely not." And I feel like that was the start of foolishness. Like I kept picking the wrong ones after that. And I think a part of me regretted that choice so bad and felt like such an idiot for that I probably kept picking the wrong ones. And I also had this fear of hurting the good ones. And so of course I hurt his feelings. He was probably gonna ask me to be his girlfriend. Everybody was invested, Megan and this boy, and then Megan disappeared to get dogged out by the same old boy who just said he wanted to give it a try because he didn't want me to move on from him. Satan. And when I say that boy plagued my life until I was 20, how old am I right now? Until I was, I don't even want to tell y'all, 20 when I moved in the house. So I was old, at least 10 years. And what I was going to tell y'all was, so when I when I rekindled with my friend now, um, everybody exes start popping up. I feel like that's always a sign. My ex is popping up, his ex is popping up. And the boy from high school, y'all, he dogged me out in high school, went to college, fell in love with somebody else. Came back from college because that didn't work out. Got back with him, played house, played stepmama, dogged me out during those days, got married. He changes his number and creates a new Snapchat every 6 months. I have blocked every number. Like I got a random birthday text this year. I was like, who is this? Blocked. Why are you leave me alone? He changed his Snapchat. So when I had started talking to my friend, he had got a new Snapchat. He had wrote me and I didn't open it. This is like last month. I didn't open it. Then a couple days had gone by and I was still posting to my story. Like I do that to anybody. It ain't even just him, but I do that to everybody. I don't open Snapchats immediately unless you like somebody I talk to or like my sister or something. Um, he wrote me again and I blocked it. But mind y'all, I've already blocked like 3 of his Snapchats. Like, what are you doing every 6 months to where you get a new number and a new Snapchat account? A man living like that, he got some real crazy stuff going on. Like, he's a real deal narcissist. So I didn't know he was a narcissist. I didn't know what a narcissist was until I got with the one I call a narcissist. But my twin flame was definitely like textbook narcissist. The hoovering. It's like I know I'm finna get blessed when he pops up. I know I'm either finna get paid or he always does that. Before I got my house, even though he had cheated on me and got with that other girl, didn't let me say bye to the baby, nothing. Like traumatized y'all. When I got my house, popped up like like we can just and I games, just straight mind games for years. And I never got over all that. Like in the sense of because I didn't want to be with him, in the sense of just process all those emotions, like all that rejection, like not wanting to take me to dances and all of that, and always dogging me out, always cheating, never picking me, can never do nothing with me, but I always do it with these girls you cheating on me with, like that. It's a movie on Netflix. It's called I'm gonna have to hide this one. I ain't gonna be able to keep this one. This is too much information. It's a movie on Netflix called A Night Before Christmas or The Nights Before Christmas, and it's KNIGHT is with Vanessa Hudgens. I love it. And she's telling him like the last boy cheated on her, and he with the girl that he cheated on her with, and he's binging like TV shows from our century, and he's telling her when they're having a conversation like that last boy really did a number on your self esteem, babe. Yeah, I'm not just traumatized from life when it comes to romance. I'm traumatized from romance when it comes, or what I thought was romance when it comes to romance. So I'm sharing all that with y'all because these are like little things, or what I thought was little minute things in my whole dating history for the last 16 years. But I really somewhere along the line lost hope. Like that's why the bar has been in hell. Look at what I was entertaining. Like I'm so embarrassed by the stories that I could tell y'all. Like I lost hope. And so God was telling me that the hope was coming back. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. And I've been stringing myself along in all of the selections of men. Again, like I said in the last live, if I know I want to be married, if I know I want to be a mom, what am I doing? Entertaining these men that I would never want to settle down with. Men kids I don't want to have. I don't want to be stuck with them. Even last year when I did decide some different things, it was because I knew my body was like on some different type of time. My body trying to make a baby. I can't play games like this. And you're not finna have me trapped because men try to trap me. You're not finna trap me. And then I'm mad at you because I wasn't being intentional and I was being reckless with my own body and like who my child's father is. I'm not doing that. So I had to make certain decisions. But it had to be a level of personal accountability because why are you sleeping with a man and you don't want to have his kids? Why are you sleeping with a man and you can even argue like, oh, well, he would be a good daddy? I'm past that age. I'm 31. I ain't picking for daddy. I'm picking for husband to me and daddy. So now I pay attention to that too because I'm paying attention to how you treat me as a woman. Like, are you gentle with me? Are you soft with me? Do you like how do you react to me being moody? Because sometimes I am. How do you react to me being dramatic? Because I'm always that. Like, how do you react to that? Because if I give you a daughter, how are you gonna make her feel? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I had to start thinking more realistically, but also like long term in all of my decisions. Like I'm 31. I'm not talking to no man. It's like I think he'd be a trash husband and father. That's crazy. I have no business entertaining you. Or he's showing me that he has no desire to be a husband. Okay, let's switch gears. I saw a post and it made me cry because I know me and I know a lot of women and my friends, like we have the desire to get married. We have the desire to be moms. But it's like, God, where are the men? And I kid y'all not, I saw this post on Instagram. He was so handsome And he was like, he was at the gym and he had put the words on the post, and he was like starting to, or trying not to lose hope, give up on the idea of being a husband and a father one day. It's men out here who desire to be a husband. They may not have grew up like how we did as little girls, like, oh, I want to be married one day, I want a baby one day. They might not have been like that for little boys, but at some point in his life, something in him turned on, and he truly desires to be a husband, like to cover a good woman, to love a good woman, to provide and protect a good woman, but also to be a father and do that for the children. He wants to be a man of a household. And I do feel like that is very rare. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what's in the air. I don't know, but it warms my heart to know, like yeah, I prayed for him and I was like, God, please send this man his wife, because I didn't even know it was men out here feeling like us. Like he waiting to find his wife, his good thing. He is, and he actually wants to be good to her. Because some men want a wife, they want a doormat, they want somebody that's going to serve them, submit them, bear all these kids, but they have no interest in taking care of her heart. Not one. No interest in loving her like how Christ loves the church. That's not a man you want when you are that woman. Enough of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be with a man. As bad as you want to be a wife, or you think you want to be a wife, or it's in you to be a wife, because that's just period. You need to be with a man, and it's just in him. That's who he is. Okay. Oh no. And sometimes, Kiki, we have way more influence than we realize, or like when like they I ended up apologizing to that boy in college because I was getting dogged out and I was laying in bed. It's not funny. I laughed to keep from crying. I was laying in the bed and I ended up texting him. I hadn't talked to him really since all that had happened in high school, because he didn't really fool me like that. Like, it was so heartbreaking. I'll never forget this, going in the lunchroom and the way he looked at me. I was like, what have I done? And that's exactly what the toxic boy wanted to do. He wanted to mess that up because, like I said, it was buzzing. Everybody knew. And we were cute. He played basketball. I was a cheerleader, all of that. Um, and I knew I hurt him. I knew I broke his heart. On whatever high school level you can do that, I did that. And so I remember when I in college, I think it was after one of the ones who's acting like he liked me. I was convinced they all just wanted to hit. And he ended up confessing to me, like, in the last couple of years, like, yeah, when I'm talking to you, I was talking about 8 other girls. Like, that's not cute. Y'all really lame to me. But anyways, um, he had did me scandalous, and I ended up texting a boy from high school, and I apologized because I don't know. I feel like playing with people's hearts is so whack. Like, why would you do that? So I texted him. I told him I was sorry. He was like, "Have you thought I was mad at you this whole time?" I was like, "Absolutely, I would have been." And we was cool. We was cool after school. Like I said, we kicked it a couple times. He's happy now. He's moved on. I'm pretty sure he's married. Like, and I love that for him, because I always knew he was somebody who would like be there for me, be a good friend to me. And we never crossed them lines. And so I think it's very interesting. The two, yeah, no, well, the three, but the two like heavier experiences I had, and they liked me and they were serious about me, and they probably at most only got a peck out of me. It wasn't even like full blown, you know what I'm saying? They treated me the best, and I never slept with them. And they treated me the best. And them the only two that will probably ever tell anybody I hurt them. And that's wild, because then you think about these men and you shared your heart, your soul, your mind, your body with them, and it was what, for them to drag you? What was the point of that? Why did I do that? For them to literally spit on you, kick you, treat you like crap? Like, why would I do that? I don't know. But again, your heart was broken before you ever started dating. So maybe you didn't know you were worthy of that. Maybe you didn't know you deserved that. I don't know. Um, but I know I repented. I asked God to forgive me for hurting them. And a lot of times now, though, I think I be putting myself in positions, and it's like this is my karma for hurting people who never would have hurt me. Like, but again, God is God. And like I said, that relationship probably wouldn't have lasted all the way to now. But it would have been good for me to have those experiences in high school and still be building up like how I was supposed to be treated. And so if I had a boyfriend that treated me nice in high school, I probably would have got to college and would have wanted a man who was treating me right in college. I probably could have been married by now, honestly. But I just made really bad decisions. So this is my gift to my 15-year-old self who ran downstairs and was like, Daddy, which one should I pick? Like, think about it being like God. And he's like, please don't pick that other one. Even though he had met that other one, he had a relationship with that other one. Even when we were older, that's the one that I told y'all like, you gonna stop talking to my daddy when I get married, boy. But I feel like I owe my 15-year-old self that. Like, pick the ones that like you. Pick the ones who treat you like a princess, and you didn't even have to sleep with them. Pick that one. And I feel like where I'm at in my life, like I owe that to myself. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah, and even if you don't, so the reason I blocked him this last time is because well, I'm always block him. He really need to stop. Like it's outrageous. And I do recognize I'm probably the best thing that happened to all the ones that drug me through the mud. But you have to be very mindful because if you haven't processed like all this stuff I'm talking about, so now I'm talking to, somebody I like, he's new. This is a hypothetical. I'm talking to somebody I like, he's new, he's treating me nice. And now all of a sudden my ex is popping up on my phone, he's trying to talk, and it's like I'm being triggered and I don't even realize it. So now I'm starting to fights and arguments with the new boy, and I don't realize it's because all these feelings that I hadn't dealt with from that previous relationship where he treated me like that, they're coming up, and that will happen. And no, actually, recently I was like, no, I think I'm a little triggered right now, and I think I told him, like, my ex doing the most. Like, I need a second, I need to regroup because I haven't processed all of these feelings, and that actually happened when I was with the narcissist. I'm debating on if I need to put that part on TikTok, but when me and the narcissist started dating, it was 6 months after I had broke up with the toxic one from high school. Um, and I will always still let him follow me. That's why I can't do that anymore because he do the most when he sees I'm living my life. So he saw a man was buying me flowers, taking me out. I was on dates and stuff. And so he started acting a fool, texting me crazy stuff. So I'm in a new relationship with who was a narcissist, but I'm arguing, going back and forth with my ex. You know how stupid that looks? You know how stupid that looks? Like, why can he even contact you? Why can he even talk to you? That's why this season of my life, I'm like, none of them can reach me. You're not finna feel me moving on because of a soul tie. He definitely probably ain't prayed away. Men don't think like how we pray or think like how we think. And he feels you moving on and separating and detaching from him. And now oh, hey, big head. They really do that. And now why would I keep putting myself through that? That's stupid. Why would I put my new person through that? And he need to know that too. Like all them, they need to be gone if you're gonna be dealing with me, because I'm not finna be. You're not finna be. No, we're not doing it. Like fall out of love with your past before you fall in love with me. And that was the rule I set. That was the boundary for this season of my life. Don't come over here and you talking about. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I've done that. I'm not doing it anymore. So all those bad experiences, because God was telling me it's time to live past them. So we need to love past them. Your hope is coming back. You've been in a place of hope deferred, and it's making your heart sick. But a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. So 1 Corinthians 13:7. True love is the foundation for confident hope. And so if the foundation of like your standard for romance, I see how he connected all this. Like the bar. If that bar is not set from a place of true love, Jesus Christ, you might as well give it up. Like you're not gonna have no hope in your love life, okay? But true love is the foundation for confident hope. Mr. Right isn't going to sell you a dream. He is the dream. So it ain't about what they say, what them actions talking about. Like, what are you actually doing? And you don't have to tell him, like, hey, I think I'm going to leave you alone. Hey, I think I'm going to fall back. Hey, forget him and his mama. That's really, and just stop fooling with him. You don't have to tell him. So he can gaslight you. I just need a little, shut up. Shut up. That's one reason I ain't been on live, because when I'm processing certain emotions, I cuss a lot. I couldn't get on live and tell y'all a bunch of stuff. But he not gonna sell your dream. He gonna be the dream. That's really a bar for me, because God has been giving me so many kingdom marriage words. He's going to fit them. There's no way God was just telling me all that stuff for no reason. He's going to fit them. And then love always hopes. I think that might be the end of the verse, but love always hopes. So if your relationship status or just where you are, you don't feel hopeful, that's not good. You should feel hopeful about romance before you enter a relationship. And I feel like that is very telling, especially when I left the narcissist and what I got myself involved in, because I never would have did that if I was hopeful about how I was going to be treated. I left dealing with 2 different narcissists and went to what I feel like is a different type, which I don't know if I'll ever open up about on the internet. I don't know. But I was in such a bad place, there was no hope. And so if there's no hope, you're going to be settling for any and everything. And that's what I was doing. I was just settling for like, what is this? Like, I've been in the mirror like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? And still trying to love myself like, it's okay, Meg. But are you crazy? Like, I wasn't, but I was hurt. I was very hurt and I had no hope. So when you enter like a real relationship, I feel like at that point, your hope would have been reestablished, which is what God is doing for us right now. Like he's giving you that hope back. And then that longing will truly be fulfilled. He can't fill a true longing that he gave you, come on, Holy Spirit, with a clown that the devil sent. He cannot do that. The longing is going to be fulfilled by the promise. And that's going to be what he sent. That don't mean the man is perfect. But that's how the true longing is going to be fulfilled. And at that point, your hopes should have been high. And expectation and how you was going to be treated. And expectation of like the communication, all of that, which where I am in my life right now, the expectation is there. You're not finna play in my face and tell me you love me and we don't talk. You are a bold-faced lie, actually. Bold-faced. Like, you're not doing that. I have expectations for all of it. And if I sit up here and I say I don't want to sleep with you till we get married, that's my business. Right? And if you love me, you really see me as like a wife, you gonna be right on along with the plan, buddy boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not playing these games with men no more. I used to have that conviction. I wasn't sleeping with nobody until I got married. And we all know that's what sent me down new age. Because it was like, how did I do that? Like, how did I was in a dark place. That's how I did it. I want my convictions back. High key. I want to know a man loved me for me. Because that other stuff just gets you caught up and messed up. And I'm not in the mood for that. Yeah, I really don't feel like that no more. I really have been excited. I'm over here calling myself manifesting the love of my life, but I was doing that before and I manifested the devil. So heal. So everything that's coming from your heart, even the manifestations, they're pure, they're holy, they're in accordance with the Lord's will for your life. You get what I'm saying? Because you can manifest some stuff that you have no business manifesting. That's not what I'm trying to do in this season. I'm wholeheartedly trying to heal so that I can manifest the love of my life that God ordained for my life. That's what I'm trying to do. Now, it wouldn't be me if I did not tell y'all a new version of your husband is a new man. So I got a lot of words. I just can't forget all them words I released. That's not how life works. That's not how prophetic life works. But who knows? But I know my husband, because the stuff I was settling for was not giving my husband. It was giving. The devil thought he had me. That's what it's giving. Be his friend and keep being close to God. Be his friend seems to be the answer for everything for me lately. Be his friend and stick close to God. You'll know. And you'll have peace when that man pursues you. Just like at the job. Everything with my friend now, he makes sure it feels like my choice and it really be throwing me off. I'm like, thank you. When it's time to pursue you, your man will know and he will pursue you. And I saw this really good testimony on Instagram too the other day, and she was like, she had confirmation that the man was her husband, but she didn't even tell him. And I was like, that's how I should have moved. I've made so many mistakes. But you know what? That doesn't mean I'm not worthy of the blessing. That doesn't mean I'm not worthy of my marriage or, getting it right. Like, I remember this one comment this one time, and somebody was like, you've had how many boyfriends and you're talking about getting married? I was like, girl, if you don't take your none tail away from me, like, I know a whole lot of people that did a whole lot of stuff and they happily married. Get out of my face. Like, that's not how life works. We think Like we have to be so this, so this, so this. No, when it's the time is right, because you're not gonna be 100% perfect. You're not gonna be 100% healed. Y'all are gonna keep doing life, but together. And God knows when that time is right for y'all to meet and to do that. Y'all gonna be on the same page. Y'all gonna want the same things. You're gonna be receptive of everything He's trying to give, and he's going to be receptive of everything that you're trying to give. It's going to be intentional, and it's going to link up. If that's not happening, you really need to like maybe fast, go back to the drawing board, and be okay letting it go. My mama always tells me that if you love something, let it go, and if it comes back, and actually, I don't know about this advice. I was about to say it, but I don't know, because all mine come back, and they majority are toxic. They all come back. That's not good. They all come back to see what you're willing to tolerate, or if you can be supply for them again. Which no, I think you can struggle in your own little narcissistic bubble for the rest of your life. You will never in your life siphon my energy again. You better go siphon that girl you picked over me. Have fun with her, stink. I'm so tired of them, Kiki. Like, have you lost your mind? I don't want nothing to do with you. Go fool with that girl you picked over me. And I'm definitely gonna get loved right by a good man. You have fun with that. And my situation last year, and he was really aggressive and mean. Every time we'd be together, he would be singing "You'll Never Find," and I was like, "Why are you singing that?" And he was like, "I don't know. Every time I'm with you, I sing that." I realize now he will never in his life experience a girl like me, a woman like he will never, and I mean ever. You really got to recognize when you are rare. Like no man I've ever dealt with will experience another me, and that's just period. And I'm not saying it in like he ain't gonna move on and be happy. Yeah, he is, but in the back of his mind, no, I'm just kidding. He ain't never gonna meet me. He is. I'm that type you can't forget. It don't matter. Doesn't matter. And my friend now, he is the same way. All his exes, I'm sure, will say they ain't never had a man that was like that in their life or treated them like that, right? Because some people just like that. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I'm probably gonna end up with one of them. You'll never find. I thought he was saying it. I'm like, I don't think God is telling me I'll never find. Like in my mind, like you was cool, but you want like I know men that make like you a unicorn. You make me feel like how people be saying I make them feel, and I ain't used to that. That's what that was. You'll never find. And a smart man. My dad said men have windows. I don't know. I don't always listen to my dad because I don't know if my dad would have been my type. I tell my mom that all the time. I feel like I would have cussed my daddy out. That's just me. But he always says they have windows, but I really just feel like my man is gonna be smart. So he ain't gonna come across somebody like me and be like, do I really okay, if you gotta think about it, you're not for me. It shouldn't be that hard of a decision. I really don't. I don't think it's women out here like me like this. How you trying to make it seem like you got a million options. Okay, if you do, go pick one of them. Hey, Heather girl. Your dad would have been your type. He be getting mad when I say that. It's a lot of things about him that absolutely like I want that in my husband, but it's some stuff like ain't no way I would have put up with that. Ain't no way. And then he always like, your mom's not that perfect. I'm like, whatever that. But yeah. He told me I missed the other man's window, and I was like, I wasn't his wife, Dad. I know that's really hard for you to understand. I didn't miss the window. I was not his wife, and I wouldn't have been happy with him. Like, we got to look beyond that. Gots to. But yeah, God, nope, enough of no love. I can't stay here. He was cheating in the song, not doing Keisha right. Baby, cheating? I'm 31. Cheating. And you believe in God and you ain't got a grip on lust, leave me alone. Because them be the same men. Let me cheat, man. Let me cheat. And he not gonna let you cheat. So I'm not playing. I promise y'all I'm not playing these games. The games was over last year when I was 30. It was before I turned 31. The games was really over when I turned 30. Like I was 30 when I decided to be single. The games is over. I'm not playing no more games with nobody. I'll be darned if you're gonna treat me like this or have me stressed out. And you're not gonna be telling me you love me and you treat me like you can't stand me. That's one reason I'm kind of glad I didn't get married young, because I probably would have divorced him. If we're being honest. I probably would have. A couple of my exes have told me that, like, you would have divorced me. I would have, because you knew you was full of crap. I would have divorced you. Okay, but that was prior to me understanding kingdom marriage too, though. But I don't think I would have had it in me before now. I wouldn't. Mm-mm. What you not gonna do? And then I would have been crying and hooting and hollering to my parents, and they would have hated him because he was a lustful monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we didn't need to go through all that. We didn't. God knew what he was doing. And you also didn't need to deal with me and being a little, you know, I was say I'm unhinged. I'm like, mm, I was having a really hard time healing and letting stuff go and living past certain things. And I think that would have hindered and strained my relationship with a man. I wasn't emotionally responsible. I was still working on emotional stability. Uh, I don't think I've been selfish. I think the man I probably love the most out of all of this, he was selfish. He's selfish, and I just I can't do that. I cannot do that. Either we finna build together, or you gonna leave me alone. Them the only options right now. Speaking of which, good. Let it out. Let it out. I'm gonna leave this up for a little while, y'all, but not like too long. I thought I was talking about way too much stuff in here. A little too comfortable, y'all. It's 10:18. How long have I been in here? Oops. Y'all do me a favor. Follow me on Twitch. Download Twitch and follow me. It's my name. No spaces. Mega Michelle. Okay. Anything else, y'all? We went through all the notes. I hope that was helpful. Or help. I do hope it was helpful, but I hope it was helpful because I really needed this, and I got what God was telling me. Like, this is what you thinking is love. That's or what you're settling for and calling love. That's not it, babe. That's not it. Ooh, that looks creepy. I cannot do that. It was even clown. No, but that's not love, and you don't need to settle for that. I never want to feel like I settle in my marriage. I don't know. I think I'm just too locked in with God for that. Like mm-mm, no. And that was something that I thought was so sweet in the uh Mona Leo and Stunner interview. They were saying like just them sitting there in their presence was like, dang, y'all supposed to be together. Exactly. And I told y'all how I felt about that. People need to be talking about how this man is looking at you and how he can tell he's in love with you. Like it needs to be giving. And so did you guys know what I ate like today? You're so kind. I've been fasting. I ate oatmeal. I had oatmeal. I went to tropical smoothie. Then I had a turkey sandwich on whole grain bread with some simply Doritos. Y'all, they make healthy Doritos now with 8 grams of whole grain. So in my mind, if it's whole grain in there, it cancels out the bad stuff, right? So I put the Doritos on my sandwich. Ooh, it was a blessing too. I put the Doritos on my sandwich because I didn't put vegetables on it. I just did turkey mustard in the Doritos. So I had a little crunch. It's delicious. I can handle it. My husband said I had to eat tuna sandwiches for 6 months. I think I could do tuna on whole grain. I can't do bologna because I don't eat bologna. I could do tuna on whole grain with some mixed greens. I could do that for 6 months. I really could. And then I also had some green apples and caramel, whatever. But I just started back introducing sweets yesterday. I had a week of no sugar. But I'm not doing dairy. Only bread I eat is whole grains. Like that's the only type of like carbs or anything I have whole grain because it has like seeds and stuff and fiber, so it helps your digestion. Um, I ain't had no red meat, but that's not on purpose. I mean, chicken and turkey. It's not like a full blown Daniel fast. My body, like For health reasons, I can't fast like how I used to fast. Girl, yes, I can do tuna. Like, if for real, if my man was really like, as long as he cared about my input and he like knew me, like, just tell me what the budget is. Like, what am I working with? And I'm gonna tell you this. Can I do it like this? I'm gonna ask, and he says yes, we could. And I could probably go longer than 6 months if we really working towards like. And men don't communicate, and it's like that could have been his plan all along. And that's what I was telling my mama. A man thinking, and this is why I say selfish. You thinking you get to prioritize everything but me, and then I'm just gonna be here, and you come back with, say you do come back and you've reached your goal, you got all this money, all that. I'm not gonna be there because when you're married, there's always going to be new goals and endeavors and adventures and stuff. And in my mind, I can't trust you because you neglected me. You left me hanging. You act like you didn't know how to balance that with me. And so the next time you have an idea or a goal, I'm already knowing you're going to leave me hanging. And I don't want to be with a man that's like that. I don't. Because me, I got a whole degree being cheated on and working full time. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Why? Because I thought I loved that man. So I was there and I put up with all his shenanigans. So if you love me and I don't make your life hard, why you can't prioritize me and I support you and I give you good assistance and stuff? Why do I have to be neglected while you pursue your goals and stuff? I'm not hearing that. And so when you reach them, don't come over here looking for me because I'm gonna be gone. Like I was like, Mom, does that make sense? She was like, it makes sense to me. I think so too. I think so too. Because at some point, like if y'all really love each other, that should be communicated. And I ain't never gonna tell a man like, yeah, go pursue your dreams and forget about me. I ain't never gonna tell him that because I'm gonna be his number one supporter. So if he trying to pursue his dreams and forget about you, it's another girl he want on his side. Who you want to be with when all your dreams come true? Like on One Tree Hill, it ain't you, poo. He obviously want another girl by his side. That's how I feel. That is how I feel. So yeah, he can come back with everything. I am not gonna care. I'm not. All them people that you could talk to while you was pursuing them dreams, I hope they make your house a home. I hope they can give you kids. Yeah, like it won't be me. I don't know if that's bitterness and a little resentment. It could be, but I really you can do both. So I ain't trying to hear that. Oh, that's a good diet. That's a good diet. That caramel was it was good. And I made a peanut butter chocolate smoothie. Was it yesterday? I don't even know what day it is. I don't know. But I made a peanut butter chocolate smoothie and I put Hershey's syrup in it and it was good. So yes, y'all, that's it. I had a really heavy dream last night. I don't think I'm gonna share it. I might type up something that will be helpful to everybody. But when I called my mom, I broke down crying because I didn't realize everything God was telling me until I started explaining it. And it was a lot. But that's in summary, God wants you to live past it now. He wants you to live past it. Live past it. That's literally what he wants of us. Now is the time to live past it. You're not gonna miss your blessings. You're not gonna miss what was for you. You were learning things while you were unable to live past it. You were getting rid of people that he didn't want around when he blessed you. That's a thing too. Live past it. It's time to live past it. Yeah, I'm good. Girl, that smoothie was good. But yeah, I'm good. Y'all know I feel things very heavily. Just like my one ex, like he would manipulate the bad dreams. Like, oh my God, I had a bad dream when it was really God trying to show me something and it was something we should have took serious and I needed to pray. And you know what I'm saying? It was like, you want me to come over? You want me to come sleep with you? Like, and it was just to sleep with me. Like, what? No, I'm so tired of that. I need a man who understands the call on my life, who understands the magnitude of what I be carrying and handling and having to do. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not playing these games anymore. I ain't doing that. Oh, yay. My spiritually sensitive bae had a bad dream. Let me go comfort her. Like, they be plotting. I'm over it. Completely over it. But yeah, I need to be with a man that understands that about me because for the time being, my mom and sister are great to tell all my dreams to and stuff. But I would like to have a husband that, and I maybe won't overload him with it because it's a lot, even for me. Like the way I dream, I don't even tell my mom and them every single dream. I tell them a lot, but I think that might be a lot for my husband. Like he would probably have to roll over and just really just be a sweetheart and be like, "You want to talk about it?" Like maybe, maybe not. Like that's probably how it would have to be. But don't settle. It's a man out here that's gonna love everything them other ones took for granted, everything them other ones swore up and down they didn't like. It's a man in here that's gonna love everything about you, and you gonna love everything about him too. Shout out to whoever fumbled my man, my ball, for real, my ball, and I'm not fumbling. All right, I'm gonna go do nothing. I think I'm organize my mail or something tomorrow. I organize my junk drawer. That's how much time I have. I organize my junk drawer. I've lived here for 5 years. I was like, let me see, and it looks great. You would have thought Operation Nikki did it. Very proud of myself. But I don't even know what to do with myself. Just a lot of free time. No, for real. Yeah, it's sick. Look at you manipulating the fact that I had a bad dream. But we're gonna be good, gang. I really love y'all. I appreciate all y'all for being on this journey with me, no matter how it ends up. I love seeing y'all that are getting married, having babies. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I love it. And our time is coming. God has perfect timing. He knows what you need to give up, how he needs to align you. We have to surrender so he can align us. Like, he knows. Get the fakes and the snakes out of the way. Like the dream I had last night, that's the one that I would have to tell y'all about months later. That's not something I can like just that was a lot. But God is saying to live past it. And if I could be totally honest, he has truly revived me in this season, like brought me back to life. And I thank him for that. Like until you really experience him doing that for you, you don't understand like the thank you and the praise behind that. He has truly revived me. And so I just thank him. And he's not reviving you so that you can stay in the things that killed you or stay in the things that tried to kill you. He's reviving you so that you can live beyond that. You can live past that. And that's ultimately, like we live in eternally. I'll never die while Jesus lives. We beyond this earth. It's going to be beyond this earth. Like we come back to life in Christ. Oh, that's a word, right? Like I feel like he's doing that to me like right now in my life, my personal life within me, like bringing me back to life in him. But he's going to do that like for eternity. And I'm like, you're a real one. I really like you. Like, I actually love you. And thank you for having a son just for me. Like, that's really how I feel. Come on, Heather. Like, for real, though. So, yeah. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna record the next video or go live. Yeah. Like, when we start loving ourselves, it's easier to cut the other stuff out. I went through, y'all know how I haven't really talked to y'all about jealousy or anything for this year. I don't think, but I started watching this girl. I'm realizing a lot of stuff for me really is balanced because I wouldn't just solely live like how she lives, but I needed her to I needed to hear her talk about certain things the way that she did to kind of balance me out. Like, I also today, I was listening to 21 Savage and Drake, and my mom was like, that's like you listening to this, like it throws her off, but it balances me out. I'm so like, like I gotta listen to gangster music. I'm a gangster grandpa. Yes, I have to. It balances me out, so I don't let people play with me. Like, because I will let people play with me. I have to be reminded, like, right. So I had to. I was saying all that because I had to listen to her talk about jealousy and destiny swapping and all that, and I would be getting ready for work listening to her like, I know you lying. Like, this is all stuff I've experienced. I'd never heard it from that perspective in that way. And I was just mind blown. And it was so easy after listening to her content for a little while to like, because I don't listen to her anymore. I don't listen to her every day. I might catch a video if it pops up, but I don't listen to her like how I was listening to her. And it was so easy for me to walk away from all of that stuff. Like, we're not friends. We were never friends. You are a fake snake cousin. Like it was so easy to walk away from people after that. And that's really why I haven't really talked about it. And another thing, once you start getting treated correctly, once you start being loved on properly, a man who like you, he ain't even play them games. He gonna not like whoever mistreats you. He not gonna make you feel crazy like it's your fault because he not gonna also be a jealous hater. Like I've dealt with that. Like, have you ever a man? I wrote that down for the TikTok stuff. He couldn't empathize with me because he was jealous, just like the girls I was trying to talk to him about. If that's a serious pain point for me, like I expect the man to understand the hate. Now, a lot of times, some men have never even encountered that hate themselves. Like they ain't got no motion, they ain't making no moves, they not that attractive. So they don't know what that feels like. But if I'm telling you and you see what type of girl you pull and you finna play in my face like they don't just be hating me for no reason, you might as well leave me alone. But I also need a man that's going to, like, boss me up on like how to handle it. And I feel like I've got to experience that over the years. The people I took the most serious, they did help me handle that because that was a serious pain point in my life. They did teach me how to stick up for myself. Like you need to be more mean. I was like, what do you mean be more mean? He was like, I'm not saying be mean. You get what I'm saying? Like you need to be more mean. I'm like, I get what he's saying because no man that cares about you is gonna let you or want to see you sit there and let people treat you crazy, talk to you crazy, be hateful and jealous and no man that loves you is gonna like a girl who do you like that, like or even a man. It don't matter, but no man who likes you is gonna like that. So being with a man, dealing with a man who genuinely likes me, that also helped me kind of ignore the other stuff. Like, girl, I could care less about what you're talking about. I got a man to go FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm pretty sure I had said that in a word. Like, it don't matter what they saying. Like, I got an aunt that get on my last nerve. And the last time I was around her, she told me I was gaining weight. She told me I was getting fat, actually. That's what she said. And it irritated me, but I called my friend immediately. Like, I might need a little emotional support. And it was just like, I don't even, like, are you fat? Are you big? Like, I don't understand why you're getting upset. And I was like, you're right. And so it makes a difference when you got anybody, because it should really be Jesus. But when you got a man that you really like and he really likes you back, and he like, first of all, that's not true. Second of all, I like you just how you are. You know what? Thank you. And that's how it should be. And that's how it should be with Jesus alone. But sometimes we're not in that place with Jesus. And so I thank him for people who like, because that's what I tell my babies. When they tell me somebody is bullying them or talking to them sideways, I'm like, well, do you believe that about yourself? Because it's only a problem if you believe that about yourself. If you don't believe that about yourself, I don't even know why we're entertaining what they're saying. But for me, it's so hard to have that dialogue inwardly with myself when people be talking to me out the side of their neck, because you have no business telling me that I'm getting fat when really I'm bloated and I'm having digestion issues, and you just looking for a way to pick at me and tear me down. Because when you got fat, didn't nobody say nothing. Like my one side of my family, I don't need to be around y'all because I'm finna be just like on Why Did I Get Married? Everybody need to not talk to me because it's years of stuff I should have said about y'all because you was always trying to pick at me and break my spirit or point out my insecurities. Like, let me in the room. Let me do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So focusing on the man that treats you right, it really kind of make that like, I don't care. I really do not care. You care too much. My mom was telling me that today. She was like, you're my baby and I love you. And I never understood why you care so much about what people said. And it's because you care and the devil knows that you care. That's why he always sent people to try to break you down with their words. I was like, okay, well, just read me, mom. But that's true. You care too much. I know because I care too much. And I'm no longer caring too much. That's okay. I'm gonna end up sharing the video. I'm gonna end up sharing the dream. I just don't know when. I need time to process my emotions about it a little bit more. But that's what the dream was basically about. And it's like they wanted you to get in such a lowly position, and they knew that they could put you there with the bullying and the picking and all of that. They knew they could put you in that spot. You have to get to a point where you like, you know what? I'm not doing this, and I'm not going to be down here. I'm not going to be doing this. Like it's like a Cinderella type of thing. And one thing, he being the one that I made all these videos about all these years, one thing he taught me was like, they treat you like that because you let them. Kind of like how the one now is like, be mean back. But that's for real. I was watching somebody that she's actually younger than me, and I really look up to her. She inspires me, just how she moves and how she thinks. And they were like, have you ever been bullied? And she was like, no. And then she was like, oh, well, I guess that's not true. She was like, yeah, people have tried to bully me. I didn't let them bully me. Like, she was like, what are you asking? And I was like, that's what it is. Like, everybody that's bullied me, I let them bully me. Now, here's the thing, because I told my mom that today. Had I cussed my daddy auntie out when she called me fat, then what? Then what? So I don't know how to, I don't have that like grace of like, because either I'm gonna cuss you out or I'm just gonna let it slide. And all the years of letting it slide, that's what messed with my self-esteem, because I never wanted to turn into a bully back. And so you sit up here and you talking to me crazy, and then I start talking to you crazy, but I don't have that balance of like handling it without taking it too far. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. So that's part of the problem because I was trying my best not to talk crazy back or be mean back. I absorbed all that stuff. I was never supposed to absorb all that stuff and believe it for true. And I told him that because I was like, because how'd I cuss her out? Then what? You not gonna cuss my aunt out? Okay, whatever. Like she got no more times to try me because that's the last couple times I've been around her. She been doing stuff like that. No more times. I don't care who mama you is. I don't care who auntie you is. I don't care anymore. Y'all not gonna like it. Don't ever. It ain't even high. It ain't never high. You look good. It's always some shady stuff. Like, please leave me alone. I should have cussed her out, shouldn't I? I should have cussed her out. I'm playing. My daddy would have beat me up had I did that. And then it also takes a man, not don't take a man, but he was like, man, that is irrelevant. Next, move on. Next question. That's how Jesus do it. Like that's not important. Why you getting worked up? And you only like when I walked in the house, y'all, I was not bloated. Everything was down. I was good. I was having tummy problems, and so that caused me to be bloated. You ain't say nothing when I walked in the house, and I know you was over there whispering with my grandma running your mouth because that's what y'all do, like some little high school mean girl. That's what y'all do. And the moment I come downstairs and I am a little bloated and I'm having actual issues, and I'm telling my mom like, we need to go to the store and get some medicine because this. Now you want to say you getting fat, ain't it? Where your teeth? Like you can stop playing with me. Like I don't. If I did that, that would be problematic. I'm going to take it too far. I know I am. I've been like that. That's why I can't talk back when people bother me because I'm going to take it too far. Without even cussing, I'm just going to take it too far. And now you're going to be crying because you thought you was going to talk about my weight, which I have been having issues with. And I've even been posting that I've been having issues. That's what's crazy. Like I'm posting that I'm struggling with this and you feel the need to say something about my weight. That's insane. That is really crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to delete this one. This is gonna have to go on. This is gonna be private. Ah! No, I already knew what they was doing. I told my daddy I was sick of them. Let me say something about their weight. You've been big my whole life. Shut up talking to me. Girl, I'm sick of it. I want to hand everybody their behinds at this point. Cause y'all been doing this my whole life. That's why you think you can just say whatever. Like it's not important. God is trying to bless me, and that's what I need to be focused on. But they do that to the kids too, and that's usually when I be turning up. Like, how do you see somebody struggling with something and you feel the need to speak on it? Are you okay? Because let us speak on what you clearly struggle with. It's gonna be a problem, so stop doing that. And that's why I don't want to that's why I don't want my kids around them. Like people can say what they want. I don't want my kids around my family. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to treat people. And they're always trying to hurt somebody's feelings, break somebody's spirit, make them feel bad about themselves. Why would I bring my innocent baby around you? And I thought I was crazy, but I have a friend. He was like, my kids don't be around my family for that exact reason. I said, so I'm not crazy. Like, why would I do that? And if my husband do got a baby or babies, and now I'm responsible for the hearts of them too, why would I bring them around you? You don't know how to act. And you sit up here and terrorize all the like, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Because I could go on and on. It's crazy. Like, why don't you know how to act? Why don't you know that this is not okay? Like, why aren't you a sweet old person that likes to bake cookies and stay out the way? Why get a hobby? Go find something else to do. Oh, Megan don't be around and won't be because y'all don't know how to act. Like I don't understand where the disconnect is at. But all those words over the years, some of them, they stuck and they landed and did a number on my self-esteem. So I'm trying to, recover from all that. Okay, we gotta go for real, y'all. We just hit 2 hours. But the last live was way longer than that. The last live was like, it was almost 3. Ain't no way I got that much time. And you don't have to cuss them out. You could be like, the girl in cyberbully, I need to take note of what she just said. She was like, you might want to go get some help because you must be really hurt to always have to be so mean to people. I was like, I like that. Because the one time I checked this girl that was calling herself bullying me in college, I did. I like one day I just bust out laughing. I was like, "Are you okay?" Because I never spoke up for myself. I never said anything back, and I was just like, "Are you okay? Like seriously, are you okay? Like you're getting so mad, and I don't understand that. Like, are you okay?" And she was furious when I did that, and I laughed. I made it worse. I'm like, "Stop playing with me," because something really do be wrong with them. But she ain't bother me no more after that. I just don't like confrontation still, but I'm learning you have to do it. I'm doing really good about it at work. I'm much better about it at work. Like speaking up for myself, but family is still kind of because if you defend yourself on my daddy's side, they're gonna say you cussed them out and you full of hell and you're disrespectful. But they can say whatever they want to you. I'm 31 and they still do me like that. You won't believe what Megan did. She told me I couldn't treat her like a piece of trash. Like that's how they act. Like, please be for real. Like, no, I don't like y'all, and I'm not coming back around. You'll never see me. Like, and stop acting surprised that you won't, because you know how you be acting. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, let me get off here, y'all. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. I'm so disrespectful. I just accepted it. I'm a horrible, whatever you want to say I am. I'm just horrible. I'm so horrible. Whole time they are horrible, whatever they are. That's how they treat you like that. It's crazy. But okay, I might leave it up. I don't know. I don't know. This is the real me. Can y'all see? I'm sweating. Can y'all see? I might leave it up. All right. Good night, y'all. I love you. I need to go eat a snack. We are. Remember I made that word and it was like, don't take it personal. Like we all going through this. We are. It don't matter if you were the granddaughter or the great niece in this situation. It would have been the same thing. Like they are treating anybody with the love of God like that. Anybody that's nice, they're treating anybody like that, like that. That's what they do. Same with them men. Like it's not a personal attack. It's a you are a good woman and God is in you. He gonna treat every girl like that, like how he treats you. It ain't nothing like you ain't special enough to where it's just you. You know what I'm saying? But it's because of who's in you. Jesus is special enough to where that's what's going on. So not taking things personal has been easier to like I ain't went to bed crying or nothing over anything, and I don't plan to. Like it ain't been that. It's just been irritation and like, okay, I'm finna show you, and I don't want to come out of character because during my healing, when I got really upset this last round, I had to pray that every day because I was ready to cuss everybody out. I was ready to pull up at a couple of my family's houses. Like, actually, sit down because I got something to tell you. Like, and then people be acting all tough. Like, baby, you're not tough. I will destroy you with 3 sentences. 3. You'll never want to talk to me again. That'll be the problem solved. You're not tough. I've been sparing you for years. Now, that becomes problematic because I'm 5'2" and I don't fight. So that's when an aggressive, ugly bully want to try to fight me. Like, nah, use your words. Use your words. You've been using them this whole time to talk crap and to bully me. So when I want to say something back, now you want to fight? Nah, let me talk back. let me talk back. They don't ever want to do that. They just want to ruin your life. Don't let them sit in misery. You don't have to be. No, it was really bad, y'all. Like it was bad. I needed to stay in the house. I was very angry, and I was like, my sister. It was bad. Like she was like, it might be on site for a couple cousins. Maybe it might be. And we was a little worried about going to family functions because we don't want to cause no scenes. And I was like, God, please help us keep it together. Please, please help us keep it together. And he did. So because we're very like, my dad didn't play. Now, some my boss is. Even if people did us wrong, my dad still expected us to have good character in the situation. Much like God, like what you were saying, Heather, like God expected us to know how to behave even when people didn't know how to behave. And my dad was like that. Like, even if we was in the wrong, he didn't want us to act crazy back. So we've all of us are pretty much like that. We try not to be like that. Me, my sister, and my brother. But again, years of like doing that and not having the appropriate releases and also not having maybe even the appropriate conversations, it's like we ain't got nothing to talk about. And then I'm also really still mad about that stuff I let slide from the year, like over the years. Like, so I don't want to take out years worth of you having me messed up on you in this one moment. And also because when you let stuff slide, it don't matter if it's family or romantic relationship. Like when I did snap on this man, it was all them years. It wasn't one incident. It was like for every time you ever in your life disrespect me, like that's how it came out. And I was like, I didn't even mean to do that. But that's what's happened when you don't set boundaries, you're not clear, and you tell people like you cannot treat me like this. And if you were already saying that and expressing that, they wouldn't have kept like slipping and sliding all throughout your life. So that's why it's been a shock to so many people this year because like I said, conversation or not, like you really thought you knew how you was treating me and you really thought I was never going to like wake up to that or say no to that. And then you thought I was gonna give you a chance to give me some fake apology. It ain't sincere. We grown. You know what you're doing. You know what you've been doing. And then you want to have the audacity to act like your feelings is hurt because I'm not letting you treat me like that no more. That's crazy. For the man, for the family, for the other family. Like I cannot do this with people no more. Even the job. Like they were acting like they was mad at me that I left. That's great. Y'all thought I was gonna stay here and y'all was treating me like this and then had the audacity to be angry with me because I switched jobs and then talk bad about me because I switched jobs because you were treating me bad and you running your mouth and I didn't left the job. That's insane. That's how everything I've left, that's how it's been. Like, how dare you have the nerve to act like, how dare I get up? Like, this is the year the doormat stood up. This was the year Megan got a spine and a backbone. Like, I'll be darned if y'all gonna treat me like that. The man, the job, the family members. I think they just need to have a conversation. And you gonna get cussed out too if you keep trying to play peacemaker and some stuff where it ain't supposed to be no peace. It was that bad. Like I didn't care who I cussed out. I didn't care who. Y'all want to talk so bad? Let's do it. Like y'all don't want to talk to me right now. I promise you don't. And then you trying to act out big and bad. Like, oh, well, if they really had a problem and they with a girl, I will destroy you. But words, you will never recover from that. Like that's how my gift works. The same way I'm able to speak life and encouragement over people, I don't play with me. I flip this all the way around, and I can't do that. God won't let me do that. I've literally been sparing you. Stop playing with me. So that's what it was like. And I could have been told you about yourself, sir, and how you really not all that, and you think you are. But I didn't. I walked away from everything like it ain't no conversation. I'm just gonna block you. I don't have nothing to say. Thank God I don't have nothing to say. Because it is no point in me doing that. He'll show you. I don't have to show you. He'll show you. I don't have to tell you. No, it's crazy. People really think they can like just bully you, and then that's go away, go away. But that interview really did help me the other day. Like, nah, they tried to bully me. Like, what are you saying? No, I ain't let nobody bully me. Right. So that's where I'm at. Like, I don't care who you is. You know what you said, and I be doing that at work, and it'd be so funny. I'd be like, oh, I didn't mean to say that, but I've never been like that with my family and stuff. And so some people think you're weak because you don't say nothing back or you don't get loud and get, like how they do. And I'm like, no, that's really not what it is. Because most of the time, if I have checked somebody, like, say that again, and then they don't want to say it. Like, no, for real, what did you just say? And the only time they do want to do all that with me is when they know, like, they could probably physically beat me up. But outside of that, it is never that. And if I was like on some Cardi B type time, because try to swing if you want to. Like, but I don't move like that. Everybody, I'm just sweet, innocent Meg. That's why they try to pick. They try to say what they want. And then if that works, then they try to fight. Now, if I get to, let me stop. Because I'm telling you, I had to calm down. Like, I was like, God, I don't want to turn into somebody that acts like this. I don't. I don't. I could see where it was going. And I really had to sit down and pray earnestly for weeks. Like, God, don't let my heart turn bitter. I want to stay a sweet girl. I don't want to. And he answered that prayer. Because if it ain't nothing else that man called me, it's sweet. Exactly. Because I don't want to not be sweet because of how other people have treated me. Like, I want to always be sweet. Like, so yeah, I had to calm down. And I don't have to get loud with people either, like how they have to get loud and stuff. The last incident I had with a family member, I was calm, like whispering, quiet, trying to keep the children from hearing it because I pay attention to all that. Like the kids don't have no business even hearing this conversation, and you want to get loud and ignorant. What are you doing? Like, I'm not like that, and I know how to have mature conversations. The only time I really like snap is if a man is playing with my feelings. But even that, I'm not doing that no more. I'm not finna deal with nobody who even got me like, why why am I talking to you? And you even doing this to me? I'm not, unless we really like locked in like that. I have no business arguing with nobody if he not paying my bills. No, I'm just kidding. But if for real, if he not like, if we not like together like that, we ain't got no business arguing if we not dealing with each other like that. And even then, I don't want to argue with the man I'm dealing with. I'm still learning how to, okay, I'm triggered. Let me be cool. Or actually, let me just stop talking entirely because everything you're saying is making me mad because I'm liable to start talking to you crazy because whatever you just said hurt my feelings. Like, I'm still working on that. But anybody else really getting a reaction out of me, that ain't never really been my life. Like, I only turned up like that if it was a man who had me messed up. Really. Like finding out they cheated, um, finding out they or them disrespecting me in my face. Like them are the only times I turn up. Yeah, nobody just and I think people want to see that. They want that weird satisfaction. So they can be like, see, I told you she was just like us. I am nothing like you. That's why you're so pressed now. I don't know. So I've never been in a fight. And I told my mom, I'm like, at this age, why would I be in a fight now? The only way I can see me fighting, that's what I'm saying. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I'm not fighting. I'm shooting. Like, I'm not playing those games. But the only way I can see me fighting is if it's over my kids. Like, that's the only way I can see me, like, really getting into a physical altercation. And then my husband, it wouldn't be on no type time like I'm trying to fight a girl because he disrespected me with the girl. It would have to be like on One Tree Hill where the girl was lying about Nathan sleeping with her, and then Haley slapped her. Haley slapped and Haley was a sweetheart. She slapped a girl for playing with Nathan like that. I'm gonna start One Tree Hill. I think I'm gonna start. I might start tonight. But she slapped a girl for playing with Nathan, and she slapped this little boy mama for playing with Jamie. That's the only. Oh, and she slapped this other girl for trying Nathan, knowing that he was with her, and she was pregnant when she did it. And Nathan, when I don't think he was entertaining it. That's the only, it's different. Like you can't be fighting a girl and your man is entertaining it. Now you look like a dum dum. Like what you what are you doing? But if it's different, if she just dead, like she just disrespecting you like that, and he not entertaining it, like that's different. But I'm not to have never been in a fight in my life. I just why would I start now? Why would I start now? And my dad always told us stuff like my baby's too pretty to be fighting and blah, blah, blah. Like he's like, them are not my babies. Like like that's how he is. He don't like when we yell and act stupid because he thinks that's loud and ignorant and ghetto. And fighting is the same thing to him. Like he's always expected us to carry ourselves a certain way, which again is like God. Like you cannot be out here acting like this, like belligerent. Even like when it comes down to like being out having fun, partying and drinking and stuff, like it act like you can hold your liquor if you want. Like that's why I never understood some things when I was in school, and even now on social media because I'm like my dad follows me on like everything, and it as an adult, so that always get like even if he wasn't, I always acted like a good man was my daddy because a good man was my daddy, but I always carried myself that way. Because the first thing I think when somebody acting stupid is who raised you. I never wanted anybody wondering who raised me. Like, and that's a compliment I get all the time. Like, I know your parents are really good people. They are, and because my mom is the same way. Like how I'm saying, me and Morgan are. That's how my mom is. But Morgan is bigger, so people didn't try her like that. Because looking at Morgan, you would really think she could fight. Like, and she probably will mess you up. But even just like dancing and your butt being out on the internet and stuff, and I'm just like, my daddy would whip me. I didn't even dance at parties for a long time. I was like twerking, shaking my on somebody's what? I didn't even do that for the longest. I didn't start doing that at parties in college, but it was always in the back of my mind, like, I don't think this will make my daddy proud. Like, I do what? Like, I was that type of person when it came to everything. Um, and I remember I was telling my sister I knew I was done with some people because we was out in public and just all the stuff I do, just like this and the children church lesson, who I be around, that stuff matters. And I'm not saying you can't have a good time because I do post me having a good time often, but like your whole tail being out on the internet, that screams just stuff that I don't want associated with me. Like, I like class. I don't like, I'm tasteful. I have tact. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't just be, even when I turn up and I am out, it's still like, I don't know how to explain it. I just, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Thanks, Heather girl. I don't, y'all, I really don't. I think you really have to play with my kids, I feel like, for me to be acting crazy. Like, and this one time, this is one of my favorite memories. This one time in college, this girl was trying to fight me over a boy. And not just like him and like the one I was in love with and other, they was not having that. They was like, you ain't finna touch nothing. I almost cussed. They was like, you ain't finna touch her. I was like, right, try again, poo. Like, she changed clothes and came back to the party to fight me and everything. I'm like, girl, what? I'm not even fooling with him. You worried about the wrong, like, men. And this is the last thing I want to work on, cussing, for real. Somebody recently told me like it's not it's not cute on me. And when he said it, I was like, I believe you. Like, you really think that makes me less attractive? Like, and I knew he wasn't like stop dealing with me because I cuss. But the fact that he was like, why are you cussing? Stop. I was like, oh my God, he really does think I'm just like so like, and that made me want to get back to the Megan that never cussed. So when I'm telling y'all, like, I want my old convictions back, like, I'm like, wow, y'all think I'm sweet now? Y'all should have seen me like prior to them men breaking my heart. I don't know. There's this couple on Instagram called G and K, and his wife is so sweet. I used to be like that, like literally. And these men, they corrupted me, Heather and Keith. They corrupted me. I never cussed until I remember the first time I cussed at a party. That man disrespected me, and I was outside cussing, and my friends are like, "Megan, you don't cuss. What are you doing?" Like, everybody was like, "Megan." I even got a Snapchat rapping a song in Tuskegee. Future was playing. I never even used to cuss when the cuss words would come on the songs. We was rapping a song and I cussed, and all my friends was in the car and they was like, "Megan!" Like, they've always been like that until it just was like, I want to be sweet again. I'm finna go pray that tonight. I don't want to cuss. I don't want to be aggressive. I just want to be sweet, and I want a man to be like, my wife is so sweet and soft and just gentle, because I don't know what happened to me. They corrected me, guys. They corrected me. I ain't never tried to fight no girl over no ever in my life. You can have him, even if I was in love with him, you can have him. I cussed him out in front of her. Like, oh, you got me messed up. Like, but I'm not going to a girl. Absolutely not. I'm not gonna fight no girl over no boy. You can have him. Like, that's literally like, you can have him. I've always been like that. I didn't went out sad about certain things, but that you can have him. Believe me, you can have him. I told you I used to take my L's with grace. Like, it's not that serious. But she tried to fight me. She left, came back with her homegirl, different clothes, everything. Tried to fight me. Yo, and they locked us in a closet in a room at the house party. And they told her to leave. She wasn't gonna fight nobody. I will say they didn't play about me back then, but that's a little nostalgic. I think I just like those memories. So sometimes I try not to go too far back into those, but I expect to be treated like that by my husband. Nobody should be playing with me. You ain't gonna do nothing. Especially mean men. I've seen my daddy turn up. Um, I would tell him like, you don't be defending me, this, and my mom would try to explain like, Megan, it's different. You have to be careful with that. And I never understood what she was saying. But then I remember this one time he had told me to stand up for myself. And you know what? God is wanting us to know this right now. He told me to stand up for myself. Like, it was of all things, it was a church meeting. People don't know how to act. And he was like, he looked at me when it was my turn to talk. And he was like, you got it. Speak your mind. Like, he mouthed that to me. And I was like, okay. So I said what I needed to say. But then some grown men at the church started getting sassy with me and talking to me crazy. And my mom and daddy was there. So, I was saying stuff back. I was like, you might want to tread lightly. Like, once I say tread lightly, you need to leave me alone because it's over. And I was like, you might want to tread lightly. And they was trying to like check me, little girl me, and talk to me crazy. And my daddy was there and he didn't say nothing. And I was like, that's crazy. He didn't say nothing. Wrong. Okay. We went to the car and I could hear my daddy yelling from the car. Ask me if they ever bothered me again. They never bothered me again. And I think we have to realize that with God, like he puts us in situations where he is sitting right there with us and he is like, speak up for yourself, defend yourself. That doesn't mean he is not. That doesn't mean he's not going to. That doesn't mean he's not going to handle those people. But he is giving you the opportunity to show those people that you don't play about yourself and you do have the confidence and the ability to speak up. And then you don't know how he handling behind the scenes. I just happened to hear my daddy from the parking lot. And then he got in the car and I felt bad because I was like, okay, I didn't know that's how you turned up when it came to this. And my mom always says you have to be very, very careful with that because a man's, defending you and protecting you, your honor and all that is different. And it can go from 0 to 100 real quick. And you don't want him in those situations that they could have avoided. I don't know if y'all seen Divorce in Black, but that scene in the movie, I literally start crying because that is my daddy. That is my brother. And so in instances where it was like, why y'all didn't do nothing? I'm like, actually, I'm glad you didn't because I would rather you be alive and not in jail. And you have to remember that with your husbands. But also let that serve like you don't know how God is handling it after the fact. He literally wants you to. All you know is you finally stand up to that family member, and then God really give them their booty. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know. We don't know, but it's so easy to think because God didn't just do it for us. Like no, He wants you. We have to have like a voice in we have to respect ourselves enough to like voice our opinions, but also like not let people disrespect us. And I just so badly wanted everybody around me to do that for me, like from God to my parents to everybody. And the whole time it was like you needed to be doing that for you. And then once I started doing it for me, it actually got better with other people. And I was like, wow. Because my sister, the two incidents where it really was almost physical things, that girl get up so fast. I don't even see where she comes from. I'm like, Morgan, it's like she floats across the room. Like I'll be talking and somebody would be getting loud with me. And here comes my sister, like, you ain't gonna do nothing. I wish you would touch her. Like, whoa, where did you come from? It's been like that 2 times. 2 times. But Morgan also is like, lots of anger from over the years and there's no telling what she will do. So we have to be very mindful of those things. My nephew is actually really protective of me too. And Leland. And Leland is only, like I said, he's like 10 going on 11. And the little 5-year-old, he probably will actually fight you if you mess with me. So I don't know. And I feel like if I'm being able to pick out all these people, we got to know that the angels are like that behind us. The angels got to be like that behind us, right? So yeah, we're doing better. Are we not? Like, can y'all not look back over these years and be like, huh, I am doing better. It might not be perfect, but we're doing better. I love it. Yeah, me and Morgan, that's how we are. Like, she don't play that. She can bother me, but you not about to. Yeah, and then we had to work on like, but you also can't bother me, and I can't bother you. So you get what I'm saying? So that it come with it. My brother don't play that. When we went to Disney World, this is the last story, y'all. When we went to Disney World, this boy was giving me and Morgan a hard time. And I didn't know if it was because we were women, because he was black. I didn't know what his problem was. And so when I went back to the table, my brother was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, he got an attitude. And he getting on my nerve. And Morgan was like, yeah, he got the right one today. And my brother was like, who? Which one? He went over there. We wasn't even paying attention. Like I was talking to my nephew, my nieces and stuff, or my niece, and my brother got up. And next thing we know, he was at the counter, and he went to say something to him. When we went back up to the counter the second time, it wasn't no rudeness, no nothing. I was like, "What did you say to him?" He was like, "Don't worry about it." I was like, "What did you say to him? For real though?" I'm like, "You asked him, was it a problem?" Because I think sometimes when people men, especially weak men at that, like he probably thought it was just me and my sister in there and that we wasn't with a grown tail black man while you doing all that. You know what I'm saying? And so my brother went over there and he made it be clear that we was his sisters and we was with him. Problem solved. Like I think a lot of men do that. And a lot of men will treat you like that in the church setting if you don't have like a husband and stuff. But I never understood that in my church because it was like, but my daddy is here. So how are you just negating the fact that my daddy is here? But they be counting on dads being weak. That's what predators do. They count on dads being weak and not like present or paying attention. That's what they count on. And my daddy really isn't like that. Like it's been instances where, and they count on you not going back and telling, right? Like that's what a predator does to a child. Like their dad could be present, but they're gonna manipulate you in your mind enough to where you're not even going to go back and tell your dad who would handle it. They're going to make you feel like it's your fault, all that. Like that's very predatorial, and that's done very much so through demons. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's a lot. Good chat. I'm leaving for real, y'all. There's no way we just be sitting here talking like this. But it is. I can yap for days. All right. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night. Bye. Enough of no love.